All right. That concludes the 43-minute long pre-show.
I hope y'all enjoyed the pre-show.
CP time.
This is it in its purest form. You got to witness it.
It's cheesy people time.
Spectacular.
Yes.
Oh no free advertising. No free advertising.
Yeah, I had to rig up the system.
Okay. Everybody hosting. Everybody got everything going.
We call that.
Oh, is the Dead in Twitch hosting?
It is.
Yeah, Dead End Twitch is. Beezy's hosting. Jacoby's hosting. Kid Roxas is hosting.
Round chair.
We got Morbid Nirvana hosting.
Shouts out to Jones.
We out here being hosted.
Shouts out to the team.
All them people, them good people.
All the ethnic people, nah I mean.
What you creating?
All right, everybody got their list that we're working with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my list.
Okay.
I think.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Cheesy Controller Podcast Game of the Year Special. Tonight, we will be discussing the games that define 2018 for us and for gamers around the world.
Yeah. Epic.
Okay, so the way we're going to handle this, the majority of us formed a top 5, and what we're going to do, we're going to just discuss our top 5s, because I feel like everybody has at least 2 that almost no one else has on their top 5, and then we're going to form a top 3 for the Cheesy Controller Podcast and a top 3 for the Dead End Gaming Podcast, and then we're going to do a one unified Game of the Year 2018.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right. I'm not hearing you, Ken.
You can't.
Oh, now I can.
Yeah. So you weren't listening.
That one was just that first one was just real hollow. All right, so I'll pass it to you, Eric Mug 11 first.
Say the 11.
Please say the 11. Please say the V when you say the Eric as well. Let's get it correct.
Eric V.
Eric V.
Okay.
Mug 11. It's good to be here, by the way. Thank you. Real quick. Yes. Is there a link to tweet out?
Twitch.tv/Anton6 with 3 X's.
Have you tweeted it from your account?
Should be from the Cheesy Controller account. And it's on the Discord.
Let me grab my phone. We out.
Gotcha.
So are we going to explain our top 5 as we say it, or are we just going to say it? We just going to put it out there and talk about it afterwards?
Do you have your complete 5 ordered? Because I feel...
do.
Okay, so you guys want to go around 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, and just give a piece? Or if you have it higher, just say you have it higher, and if you want to break out that discussion.
That sounds complicated.
I think 5, 5, 5, 4, 4. Yeah, just go low.
Yeah, but like, let's say when we get up to the top 3, whoever has Spider-Man at 3, let's say, and someone else has it at 2, doesn't make sense moving.
Yeah.
Like ending that dialogue about that game just to
talk about that game some more.
Right.
We can just go person by person.
Everybody gives their top 5.
Give this top 5.
Yeah, because that's what we ended up having to do on 3-piece. Because it started like.
Yeah,
it was like 2 hours later. It was like,
it's
damn,
like
we got to
probably
split
start
this
off
into
with our top 5s, and then whatever we got in our top 3s, we start discussing from there.
All right.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
All right. We'll figure it out. We play it by ear.
Yeah.
As long as Anton's listening.
Always listening.
Stay woke, brother.
So
one ear in, 1 ear out.
Both ears. My number 5 is Monster Hunter World. Love the game. Yeah, man. It's number 5 mainly because I still have not beaten the game. We talked about this when you were on Dead End Gaming.
Yeah.
I haven't even touched
Xbox
it since.
PlayStation?
I played on Xbox.
And that's your
Did
problem.
I
I've
disappoint
told
you?
him that's his problem. Because literally in a night, we could take you from the beginning of the game on PlayStation at least to high rank.
Yeah. Well, I'm in high rank. I'm high rank now.
Yeah,
I play
but
the game.
Twist it, baby.
You're not end game yet.
No, I'm not in game.
Okay.
Almost.
So yeah, Monster Hunter World is number 5. Number 4, Dragon Ball Fighters. I think that
Nice.
DBFC getting some representation.
Yeah, man. And anime games, a lot of times they aren't that great. And Dragon Ball took a while to be great. It took a while to get here. We went through, we love Budokai.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that great.
Have you played it again since?
Budokai 1?
Any of them?
Like
any of the
Fighters.
shit?
Did you play any of them in 2018?
In 2018, no, not at all.
I played a couple at Controller Rise. I was like, this is not.
It's not. Objectively, it's not good.
Budokai 2 was my jam.
Budokai 2 is
What?
Cool.
Budokai 2
Yeah.
is probably
Go
the
play
best.
that
Like,
right now.
Is
anything with Tenkaichi on it is like, oh my gosh, just too many characters.
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
So props to Dragon Ball Fighters, man. Just quality over quantity, right?
That's true.
Beautiful ass game, looks dope as shit, and it's just fun to watch, even though I'm not
Yeah.
that great at it. Shout out to Granddad Willie. My number 3, God of War, Boy of War. Boy. Yeah. Dope story, dope presentation, dope gameplay. I mean, what else could you ask for in a game?
True.
And no tactile multiplayer. Number 2 is Spider-Man, PS4. Marvel's Spider-Man, as I've seen it titled a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely a game that was going to be my game of the year until number 1 came out. Again, great graphics, great story. It had stakes. Shit happened. Peter changed as a character from the start to the beginning, and I think that's the mark of a good character arc. Just all the supplemental characters are dope as shit. And also, this would be a definite number 1, regardless of what number 1 currently is for me, if this game did not have these little stealth sections that were not that great.
The
Or
MJ and the Miles.
sections.
That's what I'm
Those
talking
are
about.
the
what he's
stealth.
talking
That's what I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
about.
Oh my god.
The MJ and Miles
Even
sections.
the
And they got good
Spider-Man
toward the end.
stealth. Like the Spider-Man stealth
True.
wasn't too bad, but like when he said stealth, I just saw like MJ.
Yeah.
Just getting caught.
And it's not like it wasn't like if it was implemented well, I would be fine with it. But it's like, okay, you took me out of the role of Spider-Man. You took me out of the freedom, because that's what makes a Spider-Man game a Spider-Man game. That freedom that you have, and it's like, oh, go down this maze and don't let anybody see you.
It's like they force.
It's a
romance
forced stealth
thing. It's
section.
like a forced romance, like the Hulk and
Black Widow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a force. That isn't,
I mean, you know what
it's
you
not
want.
necessary.
It's
Yeah,
not.
they really could have cut all
Hulk
those
smash.
sections out the game, and it would have been fun.
Yeah. Would have been. And
They
it
could have
was
made them
plenty long.
cutscenes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would've
So,
been better actually.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm not here to bitch about Spider-Man. I'm here to praise it, but it's a great ass game. Number 1, predictably so, is Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, man. The replayability of the Smash franchise in general is unfounded.
Solid.
You can play it any time, literally anywhere with the Nintendo Switch. I add that to why it's number 1. And I feel like I'll never be like done with it until the next one comes out, and that's why it's great that they don't have to release a Smash Brothers game every fucking year and try to sell all this fucking bullshit as
That's an amazing feeling when
DLC.
you're playing a game and you feel like you're never done with it.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
It's dope as shit.
And to the point where it doesn't get old, but
Right.
you're never done with it.
Right.
That's just amazing game design.
And it
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
feel like a chore. And I know we're going to
Right.
be playing this again in 2019, 2020. We know that Joker's being in the
Yes.
game, and it's like, okay,
Yes.
like you're
It
trying
only
to get
gets
that
more
number 1
hype.
spot.
It only gets more hype.
Yeah, and we got 4
like, what's
other
next?
characters that we're unaware of. We
Right,
don't even
so-
know.
And they may do an additional season.
Yeah, that'd be
Because a lot of fighting games these days, especially like games with long tails,
Mm-hmm.
have a second season.
Yeah.
Third,
Yeah.
like Street
Yeah.
Fighter 5's on its 3rd.
True.
No, it's on its 4th,
Well,
if not 5th, man.
No,
Like
1 through 3
Arcade
were
was 3.
seasons.
No, like Arcade was season.
Arcade came out with 1 and 2. 3 started with Arcade. 3 just ended with Abraham Lincoln,
Yeah,
and then
season 4.
No, season 4 already started. though.
Kage is not a season. So technically we would be in season 4, but now they're just doing characters piecemeal. And they put out a Stages bundle, so I scooped that today. I was like, yo, if they would sell me a Stages bundle, I'd buy it, and they did it.
I wish I
did it.
actually liked that game.
Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
like
so
pumping
do
it.
I.
I want to like it, but
Yeah.
it's not for me.
Fuck that noise. Smash Brothers Ultimate is the
Yeah.
ultimate version of Smash Brothers.
Yeah, it
it's
is really-
everything that we
unequivocally.
wanted.
Yeah.
Were you
Minus,
not a
minus
Smash-
Waluigi, because I don't give a fuck about
Yeah,
Waluigi.
fuck Waluigi.
No.
Yeah.
What were you gonna
I
ask
mean,
me?
Like, how many of the Smash games have you played?
All of them.
All of them?
Yes.
From the jump? Just every single time?
Look
Okay.
at that meme, mother.
Yeah.
Nigga, what? You
I've
tryna
been
pull
here,
my
man.
card?
on 11.
I started on Melee. So.
You started on Melee?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I put so much time into 4 on 3DS especially.
Yeah.
Because I had a Wii U, but like at that point in time, I was still on the train and 3DS, pop it open, play some Robin, like work on some tech,
Yeah.
close it, throw it in my pocket, bag, whatever, keep going, get back on the train later on, be right where I was at. Just
This man is on the move.
That's what's
Yeah.
up. Yeah, man. But yeah, I've been on it since '99, man. OG, and I know that this
Nice.
is the ultimate version of Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
it doesn't
It
have
definitely
Poke
came a
Floats.
long way.
It doesn't have
from
what?
Poke Floats.
One.
I'm gonna be mad. Like that's the one thing that I'm like, you guys
That
can bring
wasn't
back
Cool.
every stage
but we don't.
except like Miiverse, Poke Floats, and like 2 others. And I get why Miiverse won't work, but there's like really no reason to not have Poke Floats in that game.
But do we ever play the level on like?
But
we just play the battle mode, like
Yeah.
like
Honestly.
straight platform. That's it.
Yeah, but if you do Poke Floats in Omega form, you'd probably just be on like a Chikorita's back. Like they could make that, and the aesthetic of the stage could still be there, and that's something that was just one of the more like creative stages in Melee, in my opinion.
I feel like the best part of that stage is you having to jump from float to float, and if you don't do
I
that,
agree.
then what's the point of Poke Float?
Just have another like that's you really remove a lot of the stages by putting it in Omega form.
I know.
That's
But-
I kind of wish we didn't sometimes, just to be
No,
like,
no,
just to
no.
get the feel of the
No,
I mean, one
Come
day
on,
that
man.
day
They did
will
that
come
enough
one
to,
day.
just to be ignorant for a second.
No, so
Like
you
have
see,
the stage.
well, you got your
when you
Switch.
don't-
We can
when
do
you
that
turn
after
it-
the recording.
when you have it on normal with the stage hazard and all that stuff, that's when you have items on high,
Yep.
smash orbs on max, and it's just as much
It's
chaos
not
as you
stock. It's definitely not
can.
stock.
No, you don't play stock. You play
Yeah.
time.
You
Yeah,
play
of course.
like
You play time
20
100%
minutes
of the
if you
time.
can,
Oh.
and then you just go, and whoever wins, like that's a hard fought victory. Whoever wins.
That sounds like.
Now you're gonna say that, and then you look, somebody has like 30 KOs.
And you're like,
Look, when them hammers start falling from the sky,
Yep,
man.
that's when
It's over.
shit gets really real. Assist trophies.
But there's no saying that Pokefloats might not make a comeback. Honestly, I don't give a goddamn. Like there's so much. There's so much
Yeah,
in that
I don't
game.
give a poke.
Look, I
fuck.
just can't. I just want to know what the Joker stage looks like. That's the only thing I really care about.
You want the
I just
Joker?
want to know what that Joker stage
So-
looks
It
like.
has to
telling
be
you.
Shibuya.
They could go anywhere with this. They could even like take that shit to like
It
either
could be even in the
Mementos or,
Velvet
like,
Room.
A palace.
They could
I
just
think.
put it in the
Palace,
Velvet Room.
like Komoshida's palace. Like, oh, I don't know. That might not make it for Switch because that shit. His palace is pretty problematic.
Yeah.
Well, because he is problematic.
Yeah.
True.
Persona is problematic on Nintendo standards.
I don't know.
A game
Are
where a
you
girl
sure with-
commits suicide by jumping off of a building.
She doesn't die though.
She doesn't.
She doesn't.
Okay,
Attempted
attempted suicide,
suicide.
right? So much better.
I mean, the reasons why she did it is worse than her actually.
Yeah,
Right?
but-
Yeah, the stuff surrounding the fact that she jumped off a building.
Yeah, but weren't you
is worse
saying?
than the
Weren't
fact
you?
that she
Weren't you
jumped
one
off
of your
a building.
theories was Persona 5 coming to Switch like a month ago?
I mean, that's been my theories for like years now.
Yeah, since the Switch came out, I was like, they
Years
gotta
and
bring
years.
this game here.
Then how is
Because-
it too dark for their standards if they're going to put the game on it?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
They
my
put Doom on there, but
Yeah,
that's
that's what I
not
was
a
gonna say.
first party like.
it's
That's
still
not.
there though.
Hey, Doom
Nintendo
guy
didn't
for
I mean,
Smash.
Doom guy could still be
Doom
in
guy for
Smash.
Smash.
Yeah.
Just Doom guy.
Actually, that'd be solid.
Yeah.
No.
Nobody's complaining.
Yeah.
I'd be down
I feel
for it.
Y'all sounded like Beezy now with the fucking Mortal Kombat. Why can't I rip off Superman's arms? Like, no.
No, how are you going to
Doom
sell me
guy
a Mortal
would work.
Kombat game where I can't dismember somebody? That's like
True,
selling
right
me.
up.
Exactly.
This is real.
That's like selling me fries with no potatoes in it. Like,
Doom
come
guy
on,
would
man.
work
What
as
you
well
doing?
as
Just the
Snake
skin.
work.
This is just a skin.
No, man, no. They're not on the same plane.
Snake and
Doom
guy?
guy?
What?
Doom guy mutilates people.
He definitely wouldn't
Snake-
mutilate people
Snake
in
will
the
break
game.
your neck. And so you might as well not have him.
But they don't have Snake actually shoot anybody in.
Yeah, he just throws
He
grenades.
has a
at
rocket
people.
launcher.
I'm sure
He
a rocket
doesn't-
launcher is worse than shooting
Yeah.
somebody.
But it doesn't actually blow
Shit,
people
Bayonetta
into a
shoots
bunch
people.
of little fleshy
But that doesn't
bits
happen in
everywhere.
Metal Gear Solid either.
I can promise
Yeah.
you, Joker's gonna shoot somebody. Like that's just.
Oh yeah, he's gonna
Oh,
have
no,
to.
he's
Yeah,
gonna shoot
He
somebody.
better have that thing.
yeah.
We'll see. That might make it more problematic for a Nintendo published game.
Wait, you're acting like
Bayonetta's in the
Bayonetta
game.
doesn't have two
Yeah.
guns strapped to her legs and two guns strapped to her hands
I mean,
at like
stay
all
strapped.
times.
Stay strapped.
Yeah, but they're not developing and publishing it like Bayonetta. Platinum is developing Bayonetta, and they just publish it. That's like saying that's the difference between God of War and Knack. They're like Sony London isn't Knack, but the developers of Knack putting out like Knack being a PlayStation first party game versus God of War being a first party PlayStation game, we know Sony Santa Monica's behind God of War.
Yeah.
Like we know Cory Barlog is the face of that game. Sakurai is the face of Smash Bros. And just thinking about how Sakurai would handle even characters that are out of the realm of Smash, because he's handled a lot, including characters that were non-Nintendo characters, and then he's like adapted a lot of different fighting styles, things like Easter eggs from series. The fact that Ryu and Ken work like Street Fighter characters in Smash Bros. Is just a testament to like how much care Sakurai has and how much he'll put in the work to make any character.
God bless that man.
Yeah, God bless that
I hope
man.
he's getting some
Hopefully,
sleep.
yeah, really, I really hope,
Yeah,
man.
Like, it's one of those. As many things I want, I will never ask him for anything again.
Yeah,
Dude, no, he's at home playing Persona on Switch right now. I promise you.
He's already got it.
And he's never
Yeah.
he's never compromised on any character's like move set. You know what I mean? Which is why Doom Guy will never happen and cannot happen.
I don't
Just
know.
like-
I can see it working. Just make each of his specials a different gun, and then
Each
just like
special
you.
is
But like a
God.
big part
What's
of
more
current
American
Doom
than
Guy
that?
is ripping shit off of things.
Well,
That's
instead
true.
of ripping things, you just throw people. Like that's
It's not the same. Like Snake, you know, he breaks a lot of necks, so his grab is just like I'm gonna choke you a little
We can
bit.
make sure they
and
just
it's not
appear
bloody.
extra hurt.
yeah. That's the thing. Well, no.
Yeah.
Instead of ripping, it's just more stomping. Just let him have
Yeah.
that Dead Space stomp that he
Yeah,
had.
kind of like how
But-
you do like a fire object and it's like they remain on fire and they're hurt. Like he'll just like do something and then you just remain extra hurt. but
Right,
you
the
get,
amount of
That-
sword
that's my point.
slashes I do across somebody's chest, you could do a chainsaw and just have it like stun, like hit, and then go,
Yeah, just
and
extra
not
stun.
actually
Okay.
cut them in half.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I still think about ripping stuff off of people because like so much of that game is ripping shit off of things, and if you do just nerf him or whatever, that is
Yeah.
compromising on the character, which Sakurai
Doom Guy-
has not done on
Doom
anybody.
Guy for
Well,
Mortal Kombat.
that's the thing about it.
Doom Guy for Mortal Kombat, I'm with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
we are getting MK11.
Yeah, the
Stuff
reveal is like next week.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah. And we got our own shout out to Granddad Willie. I think I'm fair to announce it, but he's out there checking out Mortal Kombat 11. He got a little sneak peek thing going on, so that's why he's not here with us tonight.
Oh.
Shouts out.
Yeah.
Embargo's broken. I think you can say people are at that event though. Actually,
Cool.
if
Maybe.
is it a local event?
No,
Or?
I just said it now.
It's already too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting sued. I'm getting him
Don't
sued.
forget the 11.
Yeah. I'm not signing this shit. No 11 on this motherfucker. But anyway, yeah. Back to what I was saying way earlier. Smash Brothers Ultimate, the ultimate Smash Brothers game, which is the ultimate party game, and I love the solo gameplay as much as I love the multiplayer.
That's true.
Yeah,
and then
and
the
Yeah,
classic
this one
intervention
has
mode
so much
together.
content.
It's
there's so much love into that game. Man.
yeah, it's 100%.
It gives me the feels. That's my list.
All right. I know we just got you your PlayStation,
Right.
but what 2018 games do you have? Are you going to be playing in 2019? What games did you play the most of in 2018? What games? You'll help when we
Yeah.
start.
I
like-
have a semi list. You know.
Yeah.
The first thing I wanna mention is Tetris Effect. It's one-
Affected.
Yeah, I was
Tetris
affected.
Effect.
You know, because I haven't played like a modern Tetris game ever. Like I've literally only played maybe I think the most modern was Tetris Blast, and whenever that came out. But just original Tetris and then Tetris Blast. That's all I played for Tetris. So
Right.
Tetris Effect was the first Tetris game that I've played that's like a modern one, and I never really believed in like a modern Tetris. Like you can't like improve on perfection.
Right.
Improve on
Like
that
the first
formula.
one was
The
great.
first Tetris was perfect.
The first
Except
Tetris was
Changed
perfect.
my mind.
But somehow they found a way to make Tetris an overall just an interactive experience.
By
it's more
burning
than-
out your corneas.
They
Yeah.
dipped it in acid.
Yeah, it's I think because I played it in VR,
yeah.
It may be
So,
majority of it is because I
no
played it in
other
VR.
Tetris game does the things that Tetris Effect does.
Yeah, it was just beautiful. Plus the music, they paid a lot of attention how the way that you play the game and the way that I guess like the music is intuitive to how you're playing the game. Like, oh, I'm gonna drop this. I'm dropping faster. I'm dropping slower. It's very, very interactive and more than just the way that you're viewing it, but the way that you're playing it. And it just overall, the experience of playing Tetris Effect in VR, like that was it was like a visceral experience. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I never knew that this could happen with gaming. That was just like, wait a second, this is something that's.
Did you
that's
cry
different.
inside the VR?
Did I cry? It was moist. It was kind of moist. It was that was it was really one of those life-changing moments when it comes to gaming, because even before that I played the Star Wars game.
Yeah, the
With that,
Battlefront.
and then the other rhythm game before that. It was the same day when I first tried VR. Like those two were cool, but Tetris Effect was just like
Tetris is a whole.
I was just
game.
like, whoa, this is like something like I wanted from like a subconscious level. This is what I wanted.
You're selling me on Tetris, and I
Yeah,
didn't
Tetris
think
Effect.
that would
It
happen.
was like it's
Tetris
really,
Effect is solid.
Yeah.
But if you playing it in VR is a religious
If you're
experience.
fully immersed,
It really is. Everybody thought I was overselling it, and then I
No.
put Josh in it, and
No,
he's
it's
like,
no,
"Yo,
100%.
you were underselling it."
100%.
Like,
100%. Like
You
Tetris
know
Effect in
about
VR is
this?
like
Look,
it's a
if
great
I learned
experience.
one thing from Persona, it's that every game becomes 100% better when the art style burns through your corneas. I'm just gonna be real.
I mean, crank out that art style.
yeah,
This is
Tetris
very
Effect ooze style.
It just
in the music, in the effects on the blocks, in the
And then it's
background.
just really good Tetris on top of it. Like,
Yeah,
You know
that
what I'm
is.
saying? It's good Tetris. You know,
just good Tetris, man.
Yeah. all of my top games, art style.
you gotta drop that brick every now and then.
What
So, yeah.
device? What VR device are you using? To
PlayStation.
He
PlayStation
used my
VR?
PSVR. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Tetris Effect is only on PSVR right now.
Okay.
And I mean, it's one of those sitting games, so there are a lot of VR experiences where you're up and moving around.
Right.
And PSVR will have some tracking issues with that. Like I have I technically have both the VR headsets, but I have the like hardware revision that does HDR pass through hooked up. And Tetris, you don't move. You sit there with a controller, and it's a Tetris board floating through space in front of you with
Literally.
yeah. And you go on a journey, like music.
Like imagine you're like it's like the 80s and you're seeing Tron for the first time. It's like, whoa, virtual reality. This is what it's going to look like. And then it's like you experience that in 2018. It's like this is what I expected virtual reality to look like, and they 100% made it so that somebody who's had all of this technology is still like impressed.
Right.
Wow.
So yeah, Tetris Effect. Also, I finally completed Journey.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just one of those games where like after I completed, I was just kind of like, you know, I could really just run that again.
Yeah.
It's very very therapeutic. The music is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's very theatrical. It's very dramatic, and the camera angles and it's just everything about the game was just amazing. And like seeing, like honestly, I enjoyed like when I got to the end, I was like, I really want to know who are these people. Like I was reading the credits, like yo, who's working on this? Who's working on
Genova
that?
Chen.
Yeah, I was just like, wow, I
Who
want
made
to know the team. I want to know the team. Who's really behind this game?
That game company.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
putting out another game called Air or Fly or something like
I'll
that.
play it. I'll play it.
And it's coming to iOS first.
Nice.
So they're like really thinking about like. So they did Flow, then they did Flower, and Flower is when they really got on the map. Like I played Flow before that, but it was just kind of like, oh, this is a small PSN game. I guess it's cool, like looks good, solid, but it's nothing like to write home about. Flower came out, and Flower was one of those games that's like, yo, this studio is onto something.
Yeah.
And then Journey was them like, okay, now we have a budget because everybody was on Flower. Let's really just
Yeah, I gotta check. I haven't checked out Flower yet. It's on there. I got downloaded because I know I was gonna play it,
It's
but
good.
yeah.
yeah,
It's real.
like Journey, I think it may be like the Hotep in me.
Hold on, Queen.
Like yeah, like the Hotep in me because it's like it's more than just the game design, but like the gaming concept of like somebody like going on this journey to find their ancestry. They find clues like, oh,
Yeah.
this, you know, oh, I'm a part of something bigger than myself, and I have to fight, and I have to like you know, and then the concept of like having other people with you on that journey, like y'all, like you can have like friends, like it'll be like a random person. You don't know who that is, but they look like you when you were going through this journey.
So you
together.
did multiplayer, right?
Yes, I did the multiplayer.
Did the end? For me, when I first played Journey, that was a moment. Like,
Yeah,
I saw people come and go, and it's like the glyphs that they would speak, I was recognizing. I was like, oh, I was with Bong Ripper 420 when we were going up the mountain.
yeah.
And it was like, I was like, me and Bong Ripper 420 legit were out here having a moment.
Because it's like back, you know what I'm saying? Back, you know what I'm saying? Back in the time, me and Ash Ripper 69, we was really going. But yeah, it was yeah, on the top of the mountain. But yeah, it was like one the game design and two the game concept was just like the overall, you know, the plot of the game was just amazing. Like going through the journey, trying to find yourself. Like you're starting off in the desert, you don't know what's going on. You know, you find little bits and pieces. You find glyphs. There's like little hidden areas. You can find little areas like, you know what I'm saying. Like it's like there's a lot of history going on. It's like, what could this have been? What went wrong? You're trying to figure out. It's like there's so much backstory that you, I guess, like mentally trying to figure. Like they don't tell a lot, but it's kind of like, oh, this used to be something, and it's like you get little pieces, and then when you get to the mountain, and then the final scene, it really was like almost like a religious experience. Like you get to the final scene, it's like, oh, does he die? Like exactly, explaining like the final scene, like is the person dying? Do they find heaven? Like what did at the end? What exactly are they finding? Do they find problem solved? The top of that mountain, you found the man in the boat.
Best PSN name I've heard recently. Come honor chest. Like
Honor?
Yeah, honor.
That's a good one. Yes.
All right.
Reach the mountaintop with come on her chest.
All right. So
I don't want to interrupt, but I love the segue from religious experience. It was so beautiful to come on her chest.
Because that's part of the game. Like that was really something.
That is part of the game.
They are mutually exclusive.
That's true.
All right. So
man.
I also really enjoyed Spider-Man. Off rip, I really just enjoy Spider-Man because it's one of those games where you can really have a good time going through the story mode, but also when you're doing like the side things. It's I guess it's like open world, but like I really enjoyed how you can go from like swinging, and then when you're just walking, when you're walking the streets, you can have fun. When you're swinging, you can have fun. You can when you're doing the little side missions because you're trying to collect all the backpacks. Cause, you know, like that's one thing that you can just really focus on. The story, the story is great, well written. It is overall just a solid piece of game.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I played a little bit of God of War. I really enjoyed that. I still need to play a little bit more of it, but what I've played so far, it's been Data Boys. It's been great. Like there's so many things that you can add on and customize and building skill sets, and it's like, oh, do I want to do more axe play? Do I want to play? Do I need to punch harder? Like, it's like so many, like so many things I really can customize, and that's where I really appreciate the game. How the amount of depth of customization that I can really do with it. But I don't know if this is 5, but I really have to say Red Dead Redemption. I mean, it's everything that I was waiting for. I am a Red Dead player since Red Dead Revolver.
Okay.
And I was one of those people who were really 100% all about Red Dead Revolver. I played I'm to the point where I played the multiplayer by myself. Like I straight up played the computer on the multiplayer. Like I absolutely love the game. I love the story mode. I love the concepts. I love the characters. Everything about Red Dead Revolver. Then I played Red Dead Redemption. Thoroughly enjoyed that game. I really just felt like it really just enabled the inner cowboy in me. It brought out all of my Texas roots. I really wanted to be a cowboy. I got a cowboy hat. I got like a cowboy hat at the crib. You know what I'm saying? I throw it on when I'm playing Red Dead.
A little whiskey.
You know what I'm saying? A little bit of whiskey. I throw on my boots on. Whenever.
Little Tim McGraw.
Yeah. I throw on my desert boots anytime I'm playing. Just I gotta get in character. But Red Dead is just really one of those games where, again, just like really a lot going into like the game design, the subtle details of it. I'm a person who really appreciates like little subtle details. Like when I talk about, I don't know if I can mention Fallout, but like the way that Fallout, you can just like find random things. With Red Dead, just like there's so many small little things that you can discover within the game, whether it be like, you know, customizing your weapon to customizing this little things you will probably never even nobody would know about it, but you can customize the color of the trigger of your gun.
Yeah. It has a lot of minutia like that, and it's really for you to customize
Every
your
aspect,
cowboy life.
like literally every aspect of this character, of your experience, you're able to customize. You can completely ignore it, or you can go all out. Every single thing.
You don't get like overwhelmed sometimes?
No, never.
Because there's like a pick up your hat button, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
I'm like, bro,
I want my hat back, but like,
I don't really care. I don't really care that much about the hats. Like I can just always go. Anytime I go back to camp, I get a new hat. You know what I'm saying? Anybody kill a motherfucker, you get their hat. So I don't.
Man, not all the time. We were capturing one motherfucker, and I was like, I want that hat. Hat
Yeah.
just despawns.
Really?
I've
Yeah.
never
See,
been
we were
so
playing-
hurt in my
Hat is
life.
like-
I was in the party.
Like, he doesn't even take it off. It's just like the hat's on, hat's off.
yeah, we were playing Red Dead Online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they were hunting. They're like, I like.
Well,
that
I
hat.
like that hat, boy.
Yeah, plus the online feature, like the game itself was already.
Oh, you
just
mean
amazing.
getting hog-tied the game?
Yeah. I mean, to be, like really, like when that video posted of like people just throwing hands, it's just like
That's what I bought Red Dead.
Yeah, that's like,
We
yo,
started
this
that
is like
fight.
this is, yeah, because like the fighting, like just the fighting mechanics, the way it's intuitive, like whatever's around you, you can throw people in the wall, like whatever's around you, you can fight with it. It's just like there's so many details with that game, and I am a person who loves details within things. So I 100% have to give it to Red Dead. Rockstar, you did your thing.
Put your foot in it.
You put your foot in it. It got grits.
You put your spurs in it. You done your spurs in it.
So yeah, that'll be nice.
All right, Chris, you're up next. This is going nicely. I'm just. We get
So
some good
smooth.
content.
To start it off, not to like say that God of War is my number 5. I didn't necessarily play it to its completeness.
Kill
I
him.
love the game.
You
Is
didn't play it so
beautiful
climax?
and seamless, and like they did a good ass job on like just the cinematic and everything. It's like aesthetically pleasing and everything. I just didn't put that much time into the game, so
It's still your top 5.
it's still in my top 5.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Let's spit.
and then one is number 4 is Soul Calibur. I thought they brought this game back from the depths of hell that was 5. And so in the adventure mode, I thought they changed it up a little bit and made it more of like a map and a timeline that created like so you understood the timeline of the whole world that you were playing in, and I thought that was creative. And the character creation was dope.
Oh yeah,
And
that was
just-
undefeated.
Undefeated, but
the
always.
screenshots I
Yes.
saw from the character
Yeah,
creator
it-
literally were like, "This is why I'm getting this game."
Yeah,
That and
that
then
was top tier.
it was pre-2B announcement.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I
The
was
first
like,
character I made was 2B.
I mean, just to come back and start whooping ass with Nightmare again.
Oh
It just that lighted a fire inside of me. And then I got number 3, Spyro, just cause man,
Oh yeah.
they did a really good job remaking this game, just like they did with Crash Bandicoot. And Spyro was just so solid, and then like they pretty much kept everything, all the music the same, so you got that nostalgia feeling going into a level and be like, yeah, 5-year-old me is real happy right now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, when the jewels fall out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Just the cleaner version.
It was and it looked beautiful. They did a really good job, just like recreating, kind of like updating these graphics. Not even updating, just like recreating the images of each character, which was very nice. And there's not even like games that are created unless you go into the indie world that are 3D platformers, unless you want to play Mario. So these are very rare games that you can find. And Spyro, bringing back Spyro, that was a nice refresher to be able to play that kind of type of game. Number 2, I got Smash Bros. Of course. 'Cause
Hey.
it's the ultimate.
It is.
I mean, just the playability is awesome. The adventure mode I thought was genius, even though I just started diving into it. It just adds so much to the game. And if you don't feel like dealing with all that, you still got your classic mode, which always loved since Melee.
Yeah.
And just all the amount of characters and the abilities, and like you having to like just get your skill up and just wanting to play this game all the time, just to be able to like throw hands with your friends and become the best. Like, I can't hate on a game that all of us with the Switch was like, we have to do everything we can to beat what we are playing now to be able to play this game when it comes out.
Yeah. It's one of those games I want next time we all go to press start to get one of those booths and just throw hands, just go over there, gather our drinks, throw hands and smash. And the fact that that's just something we could do anywhere and everywhere. Like, we were playing a little bit before we went live. We're going to be playing a little bit afterwards. Like,
yeah, because getting on the TV over at press start,
like,
getting on Smith, it's like, do I really want to? If we play our cards right, we might be able to just like, yo, can we just
I mean, you
just
go
up to
up
a
there
TV real quick? Like,
yeah, I can talk to her.
I mean, because the line for Smash Bros. At press start is always so deep that you feel intimidated even trying to go in there.
Right.
Because they don't move,
I just
they
want to
just
play.
stay there.
I want to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Like, I'm not really trying to get.
I'm trying to play Skullgirls.
Or some Skullgirls.
But I'm more down
Or
to playing
fighters.
Smash with you guys because I like.
Yeah,
measuring my
we can
skill
talk
against
shit
some
amongst
random
ourselves.
person
I
is
know.
not the same as
Playing
measuring my
Crash
skill
Team
against
Racing
you.
was,
Oh, bro,
Yo.
that shit. Oh, I can't wait for that remake. Oh, my god.
Just playing that, I was like,
Playing that
this
and
is
how
about to be dope.
how delightfully broken it was.
So broken.
Crash versus
I hope they
Coco.
keep it a little broken. I hope they keep it
I
a
hope
little
they keep
broken.
it a little broken. Bro, getting that time clock in that last match.
I was like, man.
No items, 3 stock.
Right.
3 maps.
My number one.
Yeah.
No one like before this game came out, I never thought I would actually enjoy this game, but I'm gonna have to give it to Pokemon.
What did we
No.
tell
Oh
you?
yeah, you talk so much shit about Pokemon
So
Let's
much
Go.
shit.
I'm like, Chris,
So
you're gonna love
much
this game
shit.
more than anybody.
But
And you're the only one who's beat it. You talk the most shit
I
about
know.
this game.
I know
I was like, Chris, can you give this game a chance?
I gave it a chance and made me fall in love.
No, you can't battle Pokemon. I'm like, bro.
You can't battle Pokemon. It's gonna suck. It's Pokemon Go. It's for kids.
Hey man, I was
Yeah, all this stuff is on the record, man.
I was young and ignorant. I didn't know. I had
Real?
to learn.
They played
You
the
had to
Pokemon flute
experience
on
it.
you. It's like, you know what? I'm woke now.
You like this.
They put the nostalgia
mean-
jelly on there.
I mean, this game. First of all, the game is beautiful, and adding like the interactiveness with your Pikachu and the cutscenes that made you. Yeah, I mean, and having a Pokeball just added the experience you always wanted. Like Pokemon Go didn't do that justice. Having a Pokeball in this game and being able to be like, "Hola," and you're just catching Pokemon all day. I was like, man, yeah.
Oh, that game's so bad though. I haven't gotten it. I haven't gotten it. There's so much shit, man. It's
Pokemon Let's
January.
Go.
That's a good detox. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pokemon Let's Go is
And
It's a Gen 1 Pokemon game.
right.
it's a detox until you beat the Elite Four and you have to actually like start working.
Oh, yeah,
Because,
that's
other
that
than
in-game grind.
It's a cakewalk
Yeah.
until you can beat the Elite Four, and they're like, okay, we're gonna up the ante like to 11.
That sounds so
Yeah.
great.
But yeah, like
Please
the
say the
like. But yeah, that fight going to Red was probably my like favorite time doing this year. Like I felt so accomplished fighting Red and like working my Pokemon up, like training them up to get to battle him.
Yeah.
It was like comparable to doing it when I played it in like Gold and Silver, fighting Red and Gold and Silver. That's what I could compare it to, and that was like
Speaking to my heart.
the one thing that I loved the most of my childhood
If
was
you
having to
have-
fight Red.
Pokemon in your heart, Let's Go is for you.
Yeah, 100%. I thought I would hate it, but no, I fell in love. This one
I have
Like a
Gen 1
heartworm,
and
it's
Gen 2
just
in my
gonna
heart.
burst out.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
this
like-
is Gen 1. Like, they add the things that I like to Gen 1. So they add Mega Evolutions, they add
Yep.
Alolan Pokemon. But, like, it's just the original 151.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
And
it's
Meltan.
all- Yeah. I mean, you don't get a bike, but you can ride on
You don't-
Pokemon.
Okay.
You,
You don't need a bike.
you can
Yeah.
be on a Charizard or an Arcanine's
Yeah,
back.
I was riding,
running through the
yeah,
Kanto
riding on.
That sounds dope.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
It
Yeah.
is more than dope.
And when you like,
the
there are
truth.
certain Pokemon that you can fly. They like you can
Yeah.
fly on top of. And
Yeah.
just like fly around.
Like
the top.
Charizard, you just
Yep.
Come here,
Hop on his
buddy.
back, Aerodactyl, just flying on back.
it's everything you wanted in like all the original Pokemon
Yep.
games.
Yeah, that's what I saw it as. when I
Just
was
minus
playing it.
the, you know, you battling
The battling.
Pokemon.
But yeah,
Wow,
repeatedly.
Pokemon.
But
they
the,
did add so much like battling to it that you never missed it.
yeah, all the good
Yeah,
trainer
it
fights.
Yeah.
I got my first organic shiny in Let's Go,
Ooh,
like
nice.
ever. and like this is before I still haven't beat the game. I got a shiny Pidgey, and now it's a shiny Pidgeot, and it's great.
Yeah, I haven't caught a shiny yet. I've never gone shiny grinding.
I wasn't shiny grinding. I
Oh, you
was
just
legit. I was
Dude,
just
RNGesus just came. So
Yeah,
my son.
Word.
I was out there like getting Growlithe to do the thing. They're like, I need to see this many Growlithe, and I'll give you a Persian.
Yeah.
And it's just a little Pidgey. I was like, is this happening?
Nice.
Like I wasn't at a huge catch combo or anything. I was just out there and
Damn.
shiny Pidgey.
Dope.
Yeah, that's my game of the year.
Hey, that's what's up.
Okay. So my number 5 goes to the Destiny expansion Forsaken
Ooh.
for just how much of my life it's consumed this year.
Solid.
Like,
Last year. You gotta live in the future, brother.
I'm in the future, past, present. I'm everywhere.
Oh, see,
Time is not linear.
Time is just an ocean, brother.
It's a circle, brother.
It's just where you're swimming.
see, you still drinking that milk. That's why you're in the past.
But my milk comes from oats, brother.
Ooh.
Stay woke.
Yo, I had an oat milk latte today.
It's
I told you
Was it
oat
bad?
milk is kind of the move.
Was
Like,
it bad? I was like, I've never had oat milk.
like
Yo,
oat
oats
milk
got
is
titties.
kind of the move. I'm just
Oats got titties.
Latte.
Oat milk latte.
Yeah, like I've been putting that in my
Even heard of
coffee
that.
lately.
Where?
Like it's kind of the move,
The
man.
millennials are
Anyway.
attacking Ken.
So there's a spot right down the street
Starbucks?
from me. It's called Jim Adams Farm Table, and they have like all organic shit, just like
So from the table,
yeah, just shipped in.
they
from
even
all
they
over
deleted
Georgia.
it too.
Bruh, and it's black owned.
It's
like,
just farm
and there's a little
table.
coffee shop in there.
Like OAT. Oat?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
oat,
yeah.
like
Yeah, that's-
oatmeal,
yeah, that's
like
what he
said.
oatmeal,
Like oatmeal.
oatmeal milk.
That's what he said.
Essentially.
Yeah, you can get it at Starbucks. It's solid.
How
Like
do they
out
get
of
milk out of oats?
Same
They
way
milk
they get it
it
out of
out-
all.
they
Right?
milk
Same
it-
way they get it out of.
They milk the nipple. Like, there's a farmer up there somewhere just doop, 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 doop.
Milking the teeth of
Like-
these plants.
The sweet, sweet teats.
But yeah, Forsaken, like I enjoyed what Bungie put out. I'm interacting with the game on more of a even playing field with the game itself. I'm not trying to get something that doesn't exist. Not trying to get stuff early. It's a good time. And I want to see what Bungie does since they're free from Activision now.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
Yep.
Yeah.
They've been talking to Sony.
No, that was
a legend.
I saw what you were talking about. That was somebody fucking with them.
Oh,
That was somebody like hardcore, deep, next level fucking with them.
just big boy trolling.
yeah.
Okay.
That would be great though.
Yeah.
Bungie doesn't need to talk to anybody. They
Bungie
went with
just needs some
Microsoft.
space.
already have.
I just got out of a bad
They need to,
relationship.
like, be alone.
Just
Figure
work on
yourself out
Destiny for a little
second.
while. Just work on your grind. Just grind for a little bit.
Yeah.
Find you.
Yeah.
But yeah, my number 4 is Dragon Ball Fighters because
My nigga.
that's been the fighting game that I played this year.
Yep.
Like
This game's
I've,
getting some love, like more love than I thought.
Honorable
He
mention for me.
deserves.
like that's why Smash is an honorable mention because Dragon Ball Fighters came out in February and
God
not in
damn.
the middle of December.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Fighters beat out Smash for you?
yeah,
Shit.
You played more fighters than Smash?
Well,
Yo,
it came out in what, January?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that makes
it's
sense.
like, and one of the big reasons because Fighters came out in February.
Yeah.
But then on top
No,
of
January.
came out in January.
Yeah. Yeah.
January.
That Monster
the
Hunter
last
Sunday.
Tuesday of January.
When is time?
That was the day our
Yes,
life
no
changed forever.
Yeah, that would. I got my PS4 Pro and
Yeah.
never looked back.
But yeah, Fighters, and I put Fighters over Smash mainly because of how long I got a chance to play it, and then also it's like I've experienced good Smash games before, but a really good Dragon Ball fighting game,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like it's actually good. Like I can go back and play Fighters later and be like, oh yeah, this game's good.
Doug, and this
Not-
and the thing about this shit, it was like my first time really watching a lot of tournaments, like fighting game tournaments.
Yeah, that
And I got
Fighters made Evo.
I came from fighters, but I stayed for it. I was like, oh man, this is really fucking
Mhm.
great.
It's
Yeah.
one of those. It's because of fighting games. I understand why people like actual sports.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what happened to me.
Fighting
Yeah.
game, esport of choice. Until like Overwatch League coming back.
I
I'm
mean,
just
even with
so
Overwatch League, because there's
ready.
nothing more primal than two motherfuckers trying to beat the shit out of each other.
Oh,
Like that's
bruh.
just what it is. Like
Those
having team comps and all
mixes?
that stuff is great, but when someone gets hit by that mix-up though, just
True.
Somebody gets happy birthday.
oh
and shit.
no,
Bro, the
Oh,
the
no.
commentators. Oh my
Oh,
god.
man. I'm just
Got
gonna
you.
be real with you. Overwatch commentators are great. They're great with the tax and stuff, but they ain't got the hype. They ain't got the hype. But yeah, my number 3 is Slay the Spire, an early access game for PC. It's a deck builder that I put entirely too much time on. And by entirely too much time is I was playing it before I came here. Like, just in the middle of another run.
Need to get that Steam link. Keep that thing on you.
But it's one of those things where it's like, that game is fun. And for a game to be in early access and to be this much fun, it's impressive.
Fortnite.
I said fun.
Not addicted to.
I said fun.
You guys are really giving Fortnite too much shit.
Oh, well, it's one of my biggest problem with Fortnite is a popcorn game, and I need like a more meatier snack. It's not something where it's just like,
You know what I'm saying?
it's like you play around,
like
it's like you
Fortnite.
go in. Yeah, exactly. It's like the rounds don't last. I don't survive long enough in the matches, and it's like I could just play something that's just gonna.
That's because you gotta
Yeah.
get good.
Y'all niggas just popped.
Or I could just play something that's gonna actually sink its teeth into me.
Yeah, that's true.
Like my number 2 pick, Monster Hunter,
Oh,
who sank his fangs into me hard, man.
You got the Nergigante spikes all in your beard.
I have hammers calling me a sinner. It's disgusting.
That behemoth bite.
Man, like I need Iceborne to come out.
Yeah,
like,
Iceborne is
already,
like
dog,
really.
like
I can't wait for that shit.
Nargacuga, like I just want to see like you end a trailer for an expansion with one of the most iconic Monster Hunter monsters ever.
Look,
the monster that got me to play the series in the first place, they're adding to World.
Look, I don't even care. Monster Hunter World has done the best thing ever, which has made it satisfying for me to put my hammer in a large monster's face. That's
yeah.
all that
Cosign.
matters. I'm saying like spinning in the air like I'm Sonic the Hedgehog with the hammer. That's my size.
Bro, I have a build specifically for jumping, for sliding, and hitting that
Yep.
Sonic the Hedgehog
Yep.
spin.
Like
It's
Monster
satisfying.
Hunter, like its Capcom's crossovers were next level. Like even the non-Capcom, the Horizon Zero Dawn stuff looks really good. Monster Hunter is a game that it had a definitive style and also just like went like.
But now we're putting it on better hardware. That's true.
Well, no, I'm talking about just like you start off Monster Hunter and you're getting the different gear from the different monsters, and then you get the Mega Man Palico, and then you get your Beyonce Brigade armor, and then it really went.
Yeah, you get your
Yeah.
Dante, your whole
Yeah,
Dante
you
thing.
can-
Proof Saraf
the-
shows up and you get that golden armor. That
The
looks
mini
Beyonce?
Oragarin.
Yeah, is that
It's
what
a
you
joke
said?
we make.
Yeah,
It's a joke
Beyonce.
we make about it.
Yeah, Jalen's character looks like Beyonce,
Oh,
like a
okay.
good amount of the time.
Okay.
It's not actually Beyonce branded.
I mean,
but
which version of Beyonce? Is it Lemonade?
this is like a
Is it
older.
Lemonade?
This
Is it for
Self-titled.
Crazy in Love? I'm sorry.
No, it's
Dangerous in Love.
definitely not
Yeah.
self-titled. I'd give it more of a birthday because of the hairstyle,
B-Day, okay.
Okay.
but the outfit's just a little bit newer. So imagine Beyonce and her hair and like the hairstyles and like the look, but with like modern
So modern day.
extraness.
So it's
in
like
the
it's
outfit.
like B-Day, but it's also self-titled.
Just
Look,
play
one of my
Monster
armor
Hunter
sets is
with us.
literally made out of gold.
let us pull you in.
Like, literally, one of my armor sets is literally made out of gold. Just
Okay.
actually just completely made out of gold.
Yeah, we
That game's
all
amazing.
Kulftara, the Queen of Gold. You gotta
Oh,
beat
yeah.
her to death
She's
several
she's
times.
the Beyonce of monsters in Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
Pull her off.
she shows up in a golden cape, and then you break it off her, and then she just goes ape shit on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, ape shit, right?
I caught it. I did.
But yeah,
This ain't it.
that's a great game. Like, all the weapons are satisfying, and I want to use almost every single weapon.
Give Wyvern Ignition one more upgrade for Iceborne, and I'll be good. Just make it G rank viable. And just let me use my
I
same
need more
sword.
swords and shields. I need more hammers. I need more light bowguns. I need more heavy bowguns.
Long
Just give me a lot of
swords.
everything.
Insect Blade. Anybody?
Hey, when they added the Dragoon one for the 14 of it, that was dope.
Oh, that Dragoon.
That Dragoon armor, though.
That shit got
Oh,
me
yeah,
back
that
in my
Dragoon
glaive
armor?
shit.
See? It hits everything. Satisfying gameplay and different outfits for my
Oh
different
yeah,
taste and
Fashion
aesthetics.
Hunter. That was
And-
really
Oh, Fashion Hunter was a big
Yeah.
one.
the
but
amount
then
of time
Outfits
you spent.
link it to my number one, though, which is Spider-Man, the most video gamey ass video game I played this year.
It is a video gamey ass video.
It's like oh, like I love
It's a
the
checklist.
fact that God of War is like this cinematic video game hybrid masterpiece, and Red Dead is this technical masterpiece. But they don't feel like video games like Spider-Man feels like a fucking video game. Like, that is I'm gonna play a video game.
I agree.
Like, Spider-Man encompasses the entire reasons I got into playing video games in the first place.
It's one of the best open worlds. Just so We've talked about this on
And
the
I
podcast
platinumed it.
before. Yeah.
Ooh, like that was the game I platinumed this year.
Oh yeah, also platinum did.
Yeah.
And then also, one of the best
Club.
parts of this has my favorite superhero in it, which is Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man's in my top 3. That's just how it is.
And
As
that
it
game
should
just
be.
goes really deep with like the extended universe lore. Like the fact that Spider-Man, that suit was in Into the Spider-Verse in the background.
Yeah,
like,
actually, it's in the last Spider-Geddon comic, too.
yeah. So it's
And then also, this is the version of Peter Parker that, as a comic book fan, I don't get to see a lot. Because the movies keep alternating between, like, oh, he's some version of being a teenager. It's like we haven't got a Spider-Man who's been Spider-Man for a good minute in a movie.
Yeah, to be honest, I really appreciate adult Spider-Man.
Peter B. Parker.
Exactly.
I mean, that's-
Pre-Into the Spider-Verse.
How
Yeah,
was that
I mean, maybe because in the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon,
Well, yeah.
he's the adult version of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
so-
and that's also the thing about it. It's like that's the point where I feel like in the greater mythos of Spider-Man, he should be. Like, it's like seeing, like, I like teenage Peter Parker, but seeing teenage Peter Parker for me is like seeing Batman's parents die. It's like, okay, we're doing this again.
I really hope that Tom Holland is the last Spider-Man for a long time.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know
I
how old
hope
he is, but
so.
he looks young. He looks young
I
enough
want him to
be-
be the last
he
young
could,
Peter
could
Parker
probably
for a while.
he could probably
Gruff
Robert
up.
Downey it.
I
Or
hope he does.
he can do it for a couple of years where like he's the Spider-Man. He might be the first adult Spider-Man that we really get to get.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like what's his name? Andrew Garfield. It was close.
See, Andrew
It was
Garfield
close.
was too
Cool.
that into like high school Breakfast Club ass motherfucker for me. It's like it's one of those things where it's like yes, you made him too cool, but then also it's one of those things where it's like I'm kind of tired of like
He was an archetype
yeah.
that was just overused.
He was trying
Yeah,
to
overused, and then also it's one of those things where it's like part of the reason why I like Spider-Man so much is so refreshing to see a Peter Parker who actually can pretend like he knows what he's doing for once in his life.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
That's what I didn't like about Spider-Man: Homecoming. He was like kind of incompetent, and I'm like,
Well, yeah,
Well,
because
he's a
14.
child.
Right.
I know.
That's
Like
the
they
thing.
actually
That's
did the
why-
They actually put him in the right age range for him to just be getting his powers.
That's
Right.
true.
That's why I like the Spider-Man.
I loved
more
it.
than anyone.
Yeah.
Yes,
I like
y'all
this.
saw the trailer.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
Mysterio. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That shit looks-
I was like, oh,
Wait, what trailer did I miss?
Homecoming.
Far
Far
From
From
Home.
Home.
I
Yeah.
did miss that.
Yeah,
Okay.
out of all the villains, I really appreciate that they did Mysterio.
exactly.
Yeah.
I want whatever follows into the Spider-Verse, no matter like because in 2018, well, early 2019 included, I played and platinumed Marvel Spider-Man, saw Into the Spider-Verse, pre-ordered that on Blu-ray because I need that. Like, I just need that to be something I can always go to. Watch Spider-Man: Homecoming for the first time, and now the Far From Home trailer. The thing, like, I'm excited for the sequel to the game, but the thing I'm most excited for is the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse, because we need more Miles, we need more Gwen. Peter B. Parker was, like, one of the best
Once
Spider-Man.
again, it's like older Peter
Yeah,
Parker.
yeah.
It's the better Peter Parker.
Yeah, he been parking.
And I think
Yeah.
a big reason
And
for
hungry.
that is because what makes Spider-Man great is his relatability. There's
Yeah.
only so much relatability we as adults can have with a high school student.
But then also
That's
another
true.
thing about it is that we lost a lot of the great characterizations. Like, for example, in the comics, Peter's great with the younger superheroes because he's one of the only ones who grew up being a superhero.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, he's like Captain America was an adult when he became Captain. Same thing with Tony. Same thing with Hulk. Like, Peter was the only one who was a teenager when he got his powers. So when you have this younger generation of superheroes that Marvel is starting to introduce into stuff, Peter's like the main one who understood what's going on.
Peter been with the program.
Exactly.
He been parking.
Peter been with the shits.
Peter been with the shits, Parker.
All right, Madrid.
All right, it's on me now.
Starting off Q2 of this, or second half of this Game of the Year discussion.
So, my number 5 is an 8. Octopath Traveler.
Ooh.
Do the math, brother.
Do the math. Hey, stay woke.
We getting some
So it's
titles
8, it's
today.
an
Like, I'm
octagon.
real happy about like the variety that has come in. I was really like,
Oh no, we're gonna mix it up.
we not no one tricks out here. We
Like Dragon Ball Fighters, we gonna hit you with that mix. So what I liked about this game was the art direction. It's like a 3D 16-bit style, and I really haven't seen that in a video game.
they called it HD 3D.
HD 3D, and it's
Really?
Or no, HD 2D. My bad.
HD
I was
2D.
like,
So honestly, it looks really good. Like I haven't seen anything that looks like that.
Yeah.
And it was reminiscent of the old Final Fantasy games.
mhm.
And I love those. Like it put me in the same like mind frame of Final Fantasy 6.
I do have a question.
My favorite. What's good?
When I see Octopath Traveler, I'm interested in it.
Play the demo.
Yeah.
There's
There's
okay.
a demo that's the first 2 hours, and your save carries over.
Yeah, so it'll lead you straight into the game. And the thing I like about it, it's Octopath. Like it's 8 characters, and they're all on the same level. And you can pick whichever one you want to start with. And
You can have any party of 4, and there's like so many different like combinations of classes and jobs
yeah.
that you can pretty much always have a balanced team.
Yeah, and like the way it's set up, if you go in a certain order, like your teams are going to be balanced regardless. So that's good. Like I just really like the way it worked, and the battle system, like it's a turn-based, traditional battle system. But
ATB.
it's pretty solid. Like certain enemies are weak to like knives or fire or like fucking arrows or some shit, and you just got to figure out which team do I want to use and like. How do I want to execute this?
Right. It
And it
has
gets
a layer
pretty-
of strategy.
Yeah, it gets
There's
pretty
so
intense.
many options for every single like minor move in that game. They're just options. Like you could burst
Yeah.
it. You could.
It wasn't as straightforward as let's say like the earlier Final Fantasies, like I referenced. It's like, oh, this is going to take more thought. Like,
Yeah.
I did a boss battle on stream, and that shit took me like 50 minutes. Like that shit, like, bro, I
Octopath.
can't die here. Like
Yeah.
I've been in this shit too long, and I like having that. Like I haven't had that since Persona 5. Like in RPG, it's usually just I'm gonna curb stomp you.
And I
That's
feel
what
like
it
the
is.
battle system's deeper with all the different like minor mechanics that
Yeah, more or
each
less.
character brings. I feel like the battle system's more complex than Persona 5.
Yeah. And it's like I still have a lot more to go. I'm probably like 20, 30 hours in, and I still have like plenty of game left. So
Nice.
my number 4 is also on Switch. Is Gris. Grease.
Great.
I just got this game like maybe 2 weeks ago, and I finished it on stream like 2 days ago. And I was blown away by this game. Like the same way you felt about Journey, Josh. This is the same way I felt about Grease. Like,
I can see that.
Doug, I'll let you play it. Like
In
that
the,
art.
in the 2 minutes that I played that game, I was like,
Yeah, it reminds me of a 2D Journey almost. Like there's really no dialogue in the game. There's no dialogue in the game at all. Like the cues are like very. You only get like they only tell you how to do shit like once you get an ability, like turn into a brick. It's like press B to do this move, and that's just it. Like
do what you want with it.
do what you want. Like the sound direction is really good. I really love the art style. That's probably one of my favorite art styles like this year.
Yeah, the widescreen is really great.
Like this game is so beautiful. Like I took screen caps like every time I was playing it. And I was constantly posting that shit on Twitter. I'm like, people need to see this because they need to play it. Like
I
go
wish
play
the
this
dev
game.
would put it on PS4. Like I got back into Hollow Knight today because I was
Nice.
like, I want something like a 2D platformer-ish, like something something I can just pop into and play like this style of game.
Right.
And just the fact that it's not on PS4.
It's like I feel like the style is really like a really great deviant artist, like a deviant art
Yeah.
artist. But they get a video game like the style, like I guess like the stylization.
Because I saw
All
an
that
article.
watercolor.
I saw an
Yeah.
article. It was like people were like, yeah, the programmers didn't know how to do art, and the artist was like, I don't know how to program, and they came together and formed this game. So that was like a beautiful marriage of the two communities, and like
I wouldn't say deviant art. That kind of like.
I mean, because
there's a
there's so much-
negative
there's a lot of
connotation that
like,
comes
the
with
positive
deviant art.
connotation.
There's a stigma,
I'm-
but
I'm
great.
really thinking about like a very beginner, like when I first got into DeviantArt, maybe like, early 2000s, like you just started
Like
to get.
photo bucket type stuff.
Nah,
I
not
can't
photo
say.
bucket.
Not
There's
like the
great artists
glitter,
on
like-
DeviantArt, man.
Not
But
glitter.
there's
It's just like
some
for starter.
Duh,
like-
I really don't know because I'll show you a couple of screen caps. But like towards the end, when you see more of the cutscenes, like the game, from like my interpretation of it, it's a person and she's trying to discover herself. Like she's probably, I could say she's like really depressed or really sad, and her whole goal is to restore color and balance to her world. So your first upgrade, you can turn into a brick, and you acquire the color red, and then you acquire green, and then it adds blue, I believe. And like each time you add a color, it adds a layer to the game, and you go to a new location. And it's like seeing that transition and just watching how it goes. And then another thing about it is like just a platformer, really. There's no type of battle or combat or anything. Like the only thing you really have to worry about is if you fuck up a jump, you have to start back over again, which isn't too bad. And just seeing her restore color and balance to her world is beautiful.
Yeah. Does it go Roji Biff?
Yeah. So it goes red, green, blue, yellow, and then that's where it ends.
Okay.
It all kind of comes together. Like those are like the final 4 photos from the game, more or less.
Okay.
And it just, dog, that shit is stylish as fuck.
Yeah.
And that was like my detox game when I have to deal with like bullshit like Overwatch and Bloodborne.
I really feel like when you show me these stream caps, I really feel like it's Steven Universe.
Yeah.
thing.
Steven, I love that big lady aesthetic. Like,
big. It's like big lady colors, aesthetic, diamonds, shiny,
yes.
symmetry, geometry.
Yes, all of that good shit that like I really enjoy. That art style.
And this is just in the game.
That's just in game. Like
Oh
that's
my God,
that's
this
what
shit
the game
so
is.
fucking beautiful.
And there's moments where you can't see anything, and it's just they don't tell you anything, so you just have to figure this out on your own. It's like, damn, am I going the right direction? Am I doing the right thing right now? You just walking. It's the perfect walking simulator. Like, my nigga, you're out here. So, my number 3 game is what's my number 3? Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Yep.
That's probably the game I played most on Switch, which is crazy.
Because
It just came out. Like I was checking like my hours on shit. I had like over 40 hours on Smash Brothers. It's because I had to unlock those motherfuckers. Like
they made you work for it.
They made you work for it.
I love
Like
that.
in the era of DLC and paying for characters, you actually had to go out and earn these characters by like spending time, doing World of Light, just throwing hands, just whatever method you use. Or
So you're telling me characters in a video game had to be unlocked by playing the
by
video
playing
game?
the video game, the
No
way the
credit
good
card
Lord
required.
intended. Missionary position, like that shit was it was crazy. I appreciate it. Like this is my first Smash Brothers game that I ever owned. Like usually I was just the guy that showed up to throw hands and smash. Like, oh yeah, we playing Smash Brothers on Wii. Let's go. What's good? I'm here. We playing Melee. Oh bet. Oh, you got Smash Brothers 64? Now let's run it. And you know what I'm saying? So now I finally have my own, and I can just send out that call like, yo, what y'all trying to do?
Right, that Discord just pop in
On that Discord, like I could pull this shit. I can stream this shit, like whenever. My only problem is that I need to get like a pro controller. Cause playing
that pro controller.
playing it handheld is a bitch.
It is.
Yeah,
These
playing it
like
handheld.
the Switch buttons they hurt my fucking thumb to no end.
They're just so small.
so small.
I'm actually
Treat
fine with
yourself.
it.
You're fine with
I'm
it?
Have
probably
you
in the
played with the pro
minority.
controller?
I mean,
Yeah, actually.
Heck,
Like
I'm just like thinking about just
extensively?
getting one of them wired GameCube controllers.
I know.
Honestly, like
But yeah,
something?
I prefer GameCube controllers for sure, but I'm fine with the Joy-Cons.
Ooh,
I mean,
I can't.
I don't
okay.
see it just doesn't feel as good. It's not as ergonomic.
yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
And I neglect the smash stick on the
Joy-Cons.
Okay,
on the
yeah.
Joy-Cons. It just doesn't like it's kind of unnatural to go from the
It is.
stick back to the
Yeah.
buttons.
Yeah.
And that throws me off. I'm like, damn, I really need
I got
the
my
stick
tilt
right
set to that. It's like I need that, man. Like I need that in a reasonable
Exactly.
spot.
now. And all the characters, they put fucking Joker on Smash. I was saying that shit for years.
To
Yes.
for Smash.
To be for Smash is
I
still a
was like-
possibility. I have a theory on that. It's on one of the episodes. You can go check that out.
Of what?
It could
Also,
happen.
Zack Fair for Smash. Give me a Cloud Echo of Zack Fair. I know Cloud got the least love out of literally every character in that
for
game.
sure.
And Square Enix really doesn't.
Did he get that? The
He
least
had
love?
like 2 songs.
2 songs, yep.
One
That's exactly what I was
stage,
thinking
and then
about.
all of his different like costumes. He got
They all look the same.
2
honestly.
costumes.
But that's tight though,
Okay,
man.
but yeah, he's
They
not-
all see. They're like
that
black.
he does have the 2.
Well,
Wait,
light
is his
black.
added
they
in
could have
children
given him
outfit in
black
gray,
hair. They could have given him a
green.
costume that looked like Zack.
They still
And that
gave
was-
him like a one-hit special without even having to hit a special. So, I mean, he got some love.
I mean, they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
brought him over, but I mean,
They made him an OP character. He don't need everything.
I mean, he ain't OP.
Yeah, he's
just
definitely
If
alright.
you know how to use him, he's OP.
I mean, he's all right. Like, if you want to talk about OP, you got to start talking about some other character.
Pichu.
Pikachu's.
You said
The
Pikachu?
Pikachu's
Yeah,
actually,
Pikachu's
Pikachu's actually slicked up right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Pikachu's stupid.
and Pichu's like a quicker Pikachu.
Yeah.
And
And
they don't
what
like
lighter?
where it was unusable before. Like Pichu now is up there in the ranks. Like there are a lot of Pikachu mains that have switched to Pichu because Pichu is just like
Maybe that's what I need to do.
Does
Because I was talking to y'all earlier tonight about how Pikachu used to be my second main, and now I'm kind of like trash. For
Yeah,
Pikachu.
I said-
don't
Yo,
do well
I
with
just went
Pikachu,
back to
so.
Greninja.
wait?
Best decision. I
Yeah,
made.
your Greninja is dope. Like,
like
Does Thunder still hurt Pichu a lot?
Yep. Well, not as much. That's the
no,
thing
I
about
don't
it.
think
It's still,
so.
Your moves still hurt you as Pichu, but it's not enough. And how hard and how many times you can hit people, oh, it don't matter.
That's
Right.
fair. Okay.
You're gonna be dealing out that damage more than you're taking it in from yourself.
you know what else was
If you're
dealing out
hitting
that
your
damage? My number 2 game, Monster Hunter World.
Mm.
I love the fact that I could sit there and just like completely customize the build. Like when I started watching the YouTube videos on it, I knew I was like, damn, I'm into this shit.
But
dog.
what's an attack gym though?
YouTubers get attack gems. If I create a YouTube page right now, I would probably RNG would be like, oh, let's get this nigga like 2 more attack gems.
Literally, all of us, like none of us got an attack gem out of the hundreds of collective hours.
I mean, they give you one. You get one.
None of us got an additional
No,
attack
fuck
gem.
no. I put
And then
400 plus hours. That's the other thing. I put
collectively, we're
400 plus
over
hours into
2,000
this game.
hours into Monster Hunter World, and nobody got an additional attack gem.
Even Jawan, and he has RNGesus.
Right.
Where he
And
steals,
the grind on his
side.
RNG.
The grind god, he showed his true colors in Monster Hunter World first.
Right.
Everything since then is not surprising, but Monster Hunter World was like, oh yeah, man, I'm just like 300 hours farther than I was yesterday. No big deal.
Exactly. And the thing I really liked about it is how it, just like what Chris was talking shit about Pokemon, I was like, I played the beta of Monster Hunter. I was like, I don't really know about this, man.
Yeah, me and Madrid
It's
played
kind
the
of
beta.
lukewarm on it,
Yeah.
and then I don't know.
I don't know. It was love from that first crack.
Yeah, like I had Dragon Ball Z. I got Dragon Ball Z that day. Shouts out to Dragon Ball Z.
Shouts out.
And then we started talking about Monster Hunter on the podcast. I was like, damn, I kind of want to play that shit. Like, I'll give it another try. Ended up getting it. Fucking in love. Like, once I got deeper into it and, like, beat the Elder Dragon, started, like, when it became Fashion Hunter, I'm like, oh, man, this is
Pull it
tight.
off.
Look at
I can get a
I'm
fit.
like,
I can get a
oh
fit
my
off
God,
too.
I'm fit. All right, I'm gonna throw on these Dante pants. I'm gonna
Alright.
throw on this goddamn
Got the joggers.
Lunestra crown.
Look, I'm just saying,
about to
summer
be
event, you
out.
gotta get them shades.
Oh, yeah,
You
you
gotta
gotta
fit
get
it?
that shade.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
gotta get that dragon eye patch, that Elder Dragon eye patch.
Oh, and anime as fuck. Just, you know what I'm saying? Mix that with the longsword.
Damn.
Like, come on, I love anime. A
Yo,
longsword.
how did they pull? Is it like one of the?
Bro, the longsword is literally just
The
you
most
doing
anime.
all the most anime shit
Yeah.
that you could possibly.
You're Genji on crack.
Okay.
No.
It's like,
Genji
oh, I
could
can
never-
dodge anything with the force light slash if I time it right. Okay.
Yeah, just straight up turn into Kenshin Himura, like with a longsword.
Ooh.
Ooh. So that's dope. And then of course my number 1, God of War. Boy.
Dad of boy.
Like the art direction on that game was so solid. It's one continuous fucking shot. Like you can't beat that. I haven't seen
Shout
that.
out to Hellblade.
I mean, I didn't play Hellblade, but shouts out to it. I just really like. This is the only God of War game that I played all the way through.
No, I've played all of them but Ascension. And
Yeah, cause fuck Ascension.
Yeah.
Attack on multiplayer.
No tactile multiplayer on this one, and like being able to like control the boy a little bit, like his upgrades and shit. He goes from being a little bitch to being a real nigga by the end of the day, because this is one fucking day.
Yeah.
This is a crazy fucking day that you go through.
Yeah.
And just seeing that world being built and like how beautiful it was, they put a lot of like work and detail into it, and I love the dwarves. Like,
Yeah.
both of them
The
are
side
hilarious.
characters are all pretty.
The side characters are
There
solid
aren't
as fuck.
many. There aren't as much as any of the other God of
It's
War
one
games.
day.
But they
How many
hold
people
up.
you gonna meet? Yeah.
It's Kratos, man. He kind of he be flipping through the pages like did.
Dad, have you ever killed anything this big? And he just looks at him like, oh man.
I've killed things with fingernails this big.
And like, it does a good job of marrying a challenge and being simple enough for anybody to get into. Like if you play in God of War mode, you're gonna get your teeth kicked in.
Right.
Or if you play in super duper baby easy mode, which I'm doing now, so I can get that fucking platinum. Like those Valkyries are a bitch, man. They'll come and start stepping on you without your consent, and that's when it gets kind of hazy. It's like, I got the boy here. He's not supposed to see me like this. I don't want my son growing up kink shaming me. You know what I'm saying? But I just really enjoyed that game from start to finish, and I finished it in like maybe a week.
Yeah,
like, I sat there and like grinded that shit. I was like, oh man.
It came out 5 days before my birthday, and I know before my birthday it was just like done. And in the books.
Done. I was like, I needed to, and they didn't even have to add DLC. Like that's how good. That's how good and solid that.
I wanted.
Like
so
if they would have
bad.
did DLC, it probably would have been too big for them to contain.
Yeah, like Cory Barlog has gone out and publicly stated, like, yeah, every idea I had for the DLC was
Corey, you
so
can't go
big.
to Atlantis. That's too much. What? Why not?
Look, Odin needs these hands. He needs these hands.
Exactly. And like when you go home and go to sleep that night after your
Post
long day,
credits, best post credit
Post-credits.
scene in a video game.
like, do you know how fucking hype I was? I'm like, yo, this next game, just 2 games, is gonna be crazy.
Right, the God of War 2.
Yeah, an amazing walking simulator.
It's probably just going to be like right after he gets up. 2 minutes.
2 minutes after you wakes up, like.
Yeah.
And then it has the best superhero fight in video games ever.
Yeah.
Like with that first fight.
Superhero fight.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was
The first
such a-
fight?
It's
Yeah,
it's
first
literally
fight was great.
That's
it's,
pretty
it's
good.
Goku.
That was
It's
such
Goku
a
and
good
Vegeta
fight.
going at it like, yo.
Yeah.
The first fight when the
Yeah.
Form.
When the stranger comes up and you're up here like
That
fucking
fight, you
throwing
were
your house at him.
throwing hands, like
Yeah.
just beating
Oh, yeah,
this
that was
dude's
fun.
You
head
pick up a
into
fucking
boulder.
mountain and just
Yeah,
like,
yo.
yo.
Yeah, that
Like,
shit was fun.
relentless
I want to
asshole.
go back
Like,
and do it again.
yeah,
You
I've
gotta
done
go
it
back and do
again
it again.
since.
Like they added New Game Plus, so I would say go check it out. They added photo mode. You can go take selfies.
By the
and
way,
shit.
selfie mode has been the greatest advancement in video games. Just I'm saying
Ever.
that right now. Just every game with a photo mode has been the most fun shit.
Like even before you even like had the concept of a selfie, it's like, you know what? I really just want to take a picture of myself in this video game.
Exactly. Like I need a picture of Spider-Man hitting that crisp backflip on that crisp New York sunset
Yeah.
because that game is crisp.
See, when I was playing Spider-Man, all the photos you had to take of landmarks, I would try and like, I would jump real high and do like a fucking dive bomb and just try to catch that
Oh, yeah.
flick real quick.
See,
right
that's
before
that I
land.
spend
I
like
need a Miles
getting
game so bad.
look. I'm just saying, Spider-Man 2
With the
it should
J's.
be the Miles and Peter tag team game where you can play as both of them and just
No,
I mean, didn't they introduce him?
yeah.
oh no, like
oh,
no,
okay.
he was prepared. Like,
Yeah,
he's
that's the
prepared.
thing. I'm just. They got the city done. They have the character models done. Like, there's so much
Give
of
'em a
Spider-Man 2
give him
that
a
is
suit.
done.
Give him a suit.
They could really shit that game out in like 6 more months. They really could just be like, okay,
But don't take your time. I want it to blow my mind again.
Take your time.
Take your time.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
they have
surprised
the
they have it.
ability.
But also the DLC for Spider-Man was fun.
yeah,
It's a good time.
That's what Spider-Man didn't make my list. I didn't play the DLC or finish it for that matter. But
Same.
so yeah, that was my list. Shouts out to all those. Honorable mention Dead Cells also.
Oh yeah, shout out to Dead Cells.
Yeah, I played Dead Cells for 5 minutes. I enjoyed that game a lot.
You got
Dead
replaced.
Cells.
You got replaced by Grease, but you know nothing personal except for you like to fight back a little too much.
Yeah, I might actually see about Dead Cells. Like, you know, if you said it was on PS4, Dead Cells on PS4.
Yeah, I have. You have
Yeah,
access to.
I'm
Dead Cells.
gonna see about Dead Cells.
Check out
Yeah.
Hollow Knight and Dead Cells
Fuck
if
the
you
hand of
want
the king
that.
though. Fuck him. Just that's all I have to say. Fuck the hand of the king. Like, I'm still a little salty.
As you should be.
All right. Can we take a quick break? Because I want to hear Ken's list, but I'm about to run to the restroom. So, elevator music. Just chill. We just chilling with the string for now.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's the break. You feel me?
We got the intermission stream where this is the intermission podcast.
Yeah.
Y'all have any honorable mentions that you want to throw out there? Dragon Ball Fighters. Like, I love that game, but also fuck that game sometimes because Super Dash.
I don't think I really played that many other games that came out this year.
I think.
Yeah, that's why I don't have any.
I wish I played Detroit Become Human just because I love.
David Cage.
Yeah, I love David Cage.
I
he
want to
tells
like
a good
David Cage.
story.
I
And
feel like
it's
it's
like
probably
it's an
on
interactive
sale
story.
now.
It probably is.
Uh,
I'm not gonna play it. I got
Hollow
Resident
Knight-
Evil next week.
Hollow Knight had a really good aesthetic, but
Yeah.
And
That
Nearest,
game- no, that-
Nearest 2017.
Near's 2017. I'm telling you, bro, 2017 was Persona 5 was number 1, and Nier Automata was number 2.
see, and mine was
The rest-
numbers.
The rest of my list didn't matter.
See, my number 1 was Nier. My number 2 was Persona because
2017 Resident Evil 7 was number 1.
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
2019 is about to be Resident Evil 2.
look, he already
Alright.
knows. It's already
Off
over.
the demo.
Straight up off real.
I was like, this
Did you
demo
finish the
is-
demo?
Ooh, I might stream that
Yeah.
demo tomorrow.
Yeah.
I said I would at least try the demo.
See, I have it
It's
and I
30
want to
minutes.
play it, but if I play it, it'll be gone.
Yeah.
It's
Just do it.
I'm
We're
gonna
what,
stream the
two-
demo.
less than 2 weeks away from the actual release of the game.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
also like,
yeah, it comes out next week.
Yeah.
yeah, it comes out next week, but Kingdom Hearts comes out in like right after that. And
Yeah,
that's
that
where my
same
priorities
I got
lie.
I got the pre-order.
It's like I love Resident Evil. My favorite is still 3.
Let me get a
That's really-
cerveza.
That's just
I
me.
mean, I could straight up. I can play.
I mean, because it was
Kingdom
one of those
Hearts
things where it's
a
like,
week later.
I got used to like the Resident Evil
just
ass
gonna
rules
play
of
some
like,
Resident
oh,
Evil 2
zombies
real
can't
quick.
open the door. And then when Nemesis opened the
just
door
get a
for the
quick
first
flat.
time, I shot a break. I was like, oh, I'm not prepared for this.
Wait.
Because I was low on ammo, I was low on health, and I was like, you know what, I'm fine. I closed the door of these hoes, and then Nemesis just opens the door. It's like, oh, come on.
I mean,
I have
like the
intellect.
first time you see him, he's like fucking killing your friend and then throws him against.
Yeah,
the
but I
wall,
had
and he was
ammo
like,
at that time.
What's up?
I had ammo and I had herbs at that time. And so I knew I was going to be okay. I didn't have no herbs. I didn't have no ammo.
I didn't
And then he
take that
opened
fight.
that door.
Not what I saw with that one dude. I was like, I'm not taking this fight right now. I need a shotgun first.
Nah, I wasn't fighting Nemesis. I was doing
Chainsaw.
other shit. But it was just like he just showed up. Low on ammo, low. It's like when Pyramid Head shows up in Silent Hill 2. Low on health, low on ammo. She'd just be minding your own business, and this motherfucker shows up.
Right, busting through walls for no reason.
It's like, I don't need this. I don't need this right now.
All right.
Look,
We're
I'm just
back.
saying right now, if what's his face burst into a safe room in Resident Evil 2, I'm just shutting that game off and I'm never playing it again.
Also, we need a Dino's Crisis remake. They need to show that some love.
I'm not putting anything past Capcom. They just been like,
Look, if
here
they
y'all
make-
go.
look,
Anything and everything y'all want. We're just
Capcom.
giving it to y'all.
I know you've done everything I've ever wanted, but
No, you haven't.
Dino's Crisis
Yeah, they have
and
it.
Mega Man Legends.
Capcom versus Capcom. I'm telling you.
or at least like Capcom versus SNK. Like, come on.
Oh,
yeah,
that
that
would be
would be
so
so
solid. Or a good Capcom versus Marvel versus Capcom. Just
No.
that'd be
They got the
Just give us
X-Men
Marvel
now.
versus Capcom 2 on something. That's it.
They got
Yeah,
X-Men
just
now?
port Marvel versus
Disney
Capcom.
got the X-Men.
Yeah.
Look, Disney is pretty much the biggest entertainment
So is it still
conglomerate
back?
that existed.
Huh?
Is it still back?
I mean, they didn't get put into Infinite.
Oh.
He's been playing Infinite. He'll
Yeah,
give you.
Is it good?
I like it.
Gameplay wise, it's
Yeah,
fun. It's
yeah,
just the
I
roster
agree.
sucks.
The roster's not great. The graphics are kind of wonky on some characters.
Yeah.
Chun-Li, what they do to your face?
But they fixed her. They fixed Chun-Li.
Only like
They
3
did-
characters on that game.
They
Well,
never
4.
fixed Dante.
Morgan.
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gamora.
Yep.
And the Monster Hunter.
Nah.
Oh, Venom's tight as fuck though.
Yo, Zero.
Those are the only 4 characters I played. So
Venom's tight as fuck
Zero.
though.
those are the only characters I
dope.
like.
Yeah. I'm a Captain America Ryu. Combo
There you go.
guy.
Very straightforward.
Very
and
straightforward.
earnest.
Very fucking boring.
I like
But
my
we
coffee.
get those wins though.
I like my
Hell
coffee
yeah.
black.
Yes.
I don't do anything that's illegal. Pay all my taxes on time.
All right, y'all ready?
Let's do it.
All right, we're back in it with Ken's list of the best games of 2018.
What you got for us?
So I think I am officially about to break the show. You know, you guys had such great games I never even heard of.
Likewise, Ken, I'm with you, man.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of Gris.
They described them so beautifully and eloquent, and
Thank you.
it was just awesome. I'm sitting
Religious
there like,
experience.
Hey, Gris
I
is
should
a
go
body
home and
massage
play
for
these
your
games.
eyeballs.
It looks
Yeah.
so beautiful. I was looking at screenshots.
I think I only played like 6 new games last year. Yeah, and so I only have 4. and they're nothing like what you guys have talked about. So, but I can only talk about my experience. So, out of the 6 new ones that I played, I said, okay, I gotta put something together, right? Yeah. So here we go. We're gonna start with Major League Baseball 18, and I haven't played this game in years, and I used to love this franchise. And it was on sale, so I bought it. I bought Madden, and I bought NBA 2K just because they were cheap. NBA 2K sucks. Madden was impressive because I haven't played that game in years as well. So I like the way they improved the game. But Major League Baseball, I love the difficulty of it.
MLB
And,
the show, right?
Yeah, the show.
Okay.
And it's very humbling because, you know, I can pitch my ass off, but I can't hit for shit. You know, and it has this dynamic, you know, I guess, you know, difficulty where, you know, it
It's a
adjusts it based on
simulation.
your performance. And since I can't hit, it keeps putting me at beginner level. And, you know, so, but I love the challenge. I love the franchise mode. But one of the things about baseball that makes it different is that, you know, I like to take the terrible teams and rebuild them. But with baseball, they have farm systems, and it takes you years before you actually find out if you have a top prospect or not.
Damn.
So yeah, so it's not like basketball. You can draft somebody in year 1, he'll be good. So you gotta wait. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. The third game is Mario Tennis Aces.
Ooh,
Hey,
boy.
all right.
That's one of the slept-on fighting games of the year.
Man,
Most underrated fighter 2018.
I was really surprised by this game, and the reason why I ended up playing this game as much as I have is because my son jacked his cousin for his Mario Tennis Aces Switch game when we went up there for Christmas.
Oh man.
Let me hold on to that.
Kid-on-kid violence. You gotta stop it.
Yeah,
You get that nephew?
well, you
You
know,
get that nephew?
right? Yeah, because you know his cousin, is like 20 something.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. But they love going up there, and they love going up to the room, you know, upstairs of the room. They always walk out with toys or something. So he's like, "Oh, Dad, let's play Mario Ball." I'm like, "What the hell is Mario Ball?" And
That's one
but
of the new ones?
yeah, but he and his brother, whenever we were going Best Buy, they would play this game all the time. And anytime we would have to leave, he would end up, you know, crying and pitching a fit. So yeah. So once we discovered he had the game, we had to let his cousin know that none of the other people that was invited over jacked him for his game. So it's all good. He's safe and sound, and we'll buy him a new one. But it's incredibly fun. I was pleasantly surprised, and it has a little story mode that walks you through the game too. That really, you know, really actually got me engaged. I'm like, oh, this is kind of dope. Now he's 4. So he don't know how to play any of this stuff. So he would have me come in there, and I would sit there, and you know, we would play back and forth, and I'm whipping his ass. No
Straight
passes, right? And then, but
Fight back.
yeah, but he accidentally picked the story mode, and you know, I'm like, and I'm trying to kind of show him, you know, how to play by himself, and I guess it walks you through and learn how. Maybe it's a tutorial. I don't know, but it shows him how to walk through the game and learn how to play it. So you know, I was in there playing, and next thing I know, I was playing it more than him. So yeah, so it's a fun game that I get a chance to play with my little boy. So that's that father-son time.
Have you
Let's
played
put
with
Mario
the game?
Strikers on Switch.
Mario Strikers?
The soccer one?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
man.
what it
Oh
is.
yeah.
But have
That's
you
a game.
played Aces with the GameCube controller? Because the controls are the same as the GameCube Mario Tennis game, and because you can just use the GameCube controller with any game, you can literally just sit there and play it like it's the GameCube Mario Tennis, and I know that seems to be the best way. Everybody's like, if you're really going to be seriously playing that game, play it with the GameCube controller.
Well, yeah, that's just because
It has a better
every
feel.
game's better when you have a good controller, and the GameCube controller is one of the best controllers that was
The
ever
GameCube
made.
controller doesn't work for a lot of Switch games because it just doesn't have 4 shoulder buttons. It doesn't have clickable analog sticks. It doesn't. There's a lot of things that this GameCube controller just. You can't play Breath of the Wild with the GameCube
How
controller.
much is the
Street Fighter.
GameCube controller?
I've tried it.
Depends.
Yeah,
How
it
you
really.
trying to connect it.
Right. If you're trying to get a legit, the GameCube adapter is like 20, and then like the GameCube controller is like 30, or you could just get like I saw Granddad had the wireless GameCube controller.
Mm.
That was however
Oh,
much
yeah.
that was, and that's just it acts like a pro controller, has more buttons than a regular GameCube controller, but the same form factor, so you could do it like that, and
Is
that's
that made by
probably
Nintendo?
cheaper. Power A, but they
Okay.
have the license, so it's not like super jank, but
Okay.
It's not like one of those Mad Cats.
Yeah.
Turbo button.
Mad Cats. Oh my god, I had
Oh,
the
man.
turbo. Yo,
Oh,
turbo.
yeah.
Yo,
Mad
Mad
Cats.
Cats.
Shout out to
Turbo
Mad
buttons. Yo.
That's for your
That
cousin
shit-
that comes and like, yeah, use this one.
Yo. I think I still got those.
I know I got a
Oh my
PS2
God.
Mad
You're a
Cat
super
somewhere.
villain.
Oh my god.
I
Y'all
know
are
I
super
got it.
villains.
Fucking.
Are they still in
Mad-
business?
No, they definitely went out of
Nope,
business.
they went out of
Yeah.
business.
they
Wow.
It's like,
because of
goddamn,
Rock
it's the
Band.
turbo button. It was so terrible.
Yeah.
It was so.
What does it do? Like,
Yeah.
So the thing that put Mad Cats out of business was actually Rock Band 4 because they signed the deal to like do all the Rock Band 4 like instruments, and nobody really bought the Rock Band 4 instruments, and so
Because Rock Band 4 was made for people who already liked Rock Band 1 and 2 who still had their stuff.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those, like,
Right, I bought it with the guitar, but I bought some drums from Goodwill. I
think
wasn't
we
really
got the damn drums.
right. So a lot of people, and then you could come across them on eBay or Goodwill or anything like that for the low.
It was just a
Yeah.
terrible business decision.
Yeah, Mad Cats put all their eggs in the Rock Band 4.
this is our big break.
Yeah.
We're gonna put a turbo button on a guitar. Have
Look, you
like
need,
Van Halen
you
in
need
this
those
bitch.
faster input readings, man.
Yep.
Them songs get
You
ridiculous.
about to be Slash. Yeah, good luck with that.
But yeah, I didn't know they had all these power moves and these special moves. So yeah, it was really, really interesting. So, and then the second game, God of War. You guys have already talked about that. I don't need to add any more. But yeah, it's a great game. Very challenging, and they my youngest like to see me watch me play that too. So which is cool because it gives me a chance to pull out the game. But it's on a disc, and I buy all my games digital, so it's sometimes I don't feel like going through the trouble. But
I got it on sale just because I got it the day it came out physically, beat it in its entirety physically, but then had to just get it digitally. I saw it like,
He beat disco.
huh?
Even the disco. What did disc ever do to you?
Man, all the discs. Now discs just stay sealed so I can sell them later.
Pull.
yeah, that's then of course Spider-Man is my number one. That's the one I play the most, man. I mean, it's just incredible.
Look, I'm just saying, play that game and then play like the Spider-Man theme songs from like the TV shows. That is satisfying as fuck. I just want to put that out there.
You haven't played the DLC yet, right?
Yeah, that's
Oh, you have?
DLC. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How
I'm
far are
doing-
you? So where's everybody at in the DLC? Who's
Yeah, I'm doing
beat
the
it?
first one, the Black.
I'm still doing Black Hat because
Yeah.
it's fun.
I beat Black Cat and I started episode 2.
Oh,
Turf Wars.
Percented everything.
Okay.
It's like
I'm up here.
yeah.
Humbly.
I beat all the DLC in one day.
I know I
Separate-
can,
separate
but
But
yeah,
you gotta savor it.
right,
Let-
yeah,
let-
exactly.
Let the play
I
just
got
a little bit.
I got
Don't-
Persona 5 to play, man.
Don't scarf down your
I got
food.
My
Smash.
guy.
I got Smash to play.
Yeah.
I got shit to do, man.
Yeah, that's another one. He loves
Yeah.
to watch me play
Yeah.
that game. So if I go through it and beat it, then I
Come on,
don't
man.
want to go back and play it all over again. So it gives me something to look forward to doing when he asks me to play it. So yeah, so that's it. Yeah, the other ones suck. So
2K.
oh my god.
It was on sale. I was like, I might. And I was like,
So wait.
no, I'm not gonna play
Is
this.
Madden like better now? Because there was a time
See,
where
I
like
don't
Madden
know.
was trash.
I have nothing to compare it to. Like the last time I played was like mid 2000s. So I have nothing to compare it to.
Are
wait,
interceptions
wait.
still the same? Like I know when you get an interception, everything's just like,
You played
oh
entire
shit.
season as a team, 'cause they used to, like,
remember
they took that away.
Really?
Yeah, at one point they took away you were playing an entire season.
That is. Why would they do that?
Did you
Loot
play
boxes.
Long Shot? I've heard
I
good
don't
things
know.
about Long Shot.
Nah.
I
What
don't
is
know.
long shot?
That's like the story mode thing. they
Oh
have.
no! Give me franchise mode. I don't need all that.
Yeah, that's all I
Just
need.
trying to
is
build a
franchise
team.
mode.
We talking
Yeah, I'm not
teams.
trying to create a player. I'm not doing all that.
I've
No.
heard such good things about Long Shot. I considered buying Madden. Like the first year they did Long Shot, people were like, "Yo, this is the best story mode in a sports game ever."
Yeah, but we don't need a story mode. We need franchise mode.
Right.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
I'm not playing a sports game.
I was gonna say, you would
Let
have to
me
learn
escape.
how to play the sport. And
I also need NFL Blitz on PS4. That's what I need in my life.
that would be
I
fun.
need
No, on
skate.
Switch.
Motherfucking
Whatever,
4.
just give me those arcadey ass sports games again. Like,
Yes.
they're just too technical for me. I don't
NBA
want,
Streets Volume 4.
it's like
We said the same thing last night,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah, I got caught up playing. What was the intent? It's the Wii,
Yeah.
and they had one of those football games that you sit there and you throwing the ball. And it was so
Check your Wiimote.
Yeah,
Straight through.
but it was so bad, but you just still get caught up in playing the game, and maybe it was just the physical activity, or maybe just my competitive spirit.
but at the same
That's the power of the
damn
Wii.
time.
Yeah, probably that's probably what it was, but yeah, it was terrible, but it was fun. It was just weird.
Look,
That's what
that
counts.
weird Tony Hawk game for the Wii that had that stupid board was terrible, but
Oh.
that was also a lot
Tony
of fun.
Hawk
I
Ride.
downloaded
Wow.
something is free this month. Steep, never
Stip.
heard of. Is that
No, Steve.
Isn't
Strip throat.
the only thing that matters is this just a high def SSS tricky? That's
No,
the only.
it's more semi.
Yeah.
It is Ubisoft trying to go full.
Well, okay, Sims are cool. Red Dead's a cowboy sim. That's cool. But I need my arcadey ass video games.
Yeah.
back.
Right.
I want my
need
arcade.
Exactly. I don't need a damn.
I don't need.
sim
I don't. If I'm gonna
game.
actually simulate football, I'll go outside.
SSX is Need for Speed as Gran Turismo, or as Steep is to Gran Turismo.
Could you?
See, why'd you have to just go and kill my vibe like that?
I'm just letting you know. Don't.
I'm hurt.
What's the last SSX game?
Ooh, it was bad. It was a
Was
bad one for 360.
Oh.
All I remember is people were telling me about SSX, and then proceeded to tell me don't play the newest one.
Man, because that was heavy. I played the first one heavy. SSX Tricky was just like.
I think it was like SSX 360. Honestly, I think.
I remember like SSX 3. SSX 3 was like was like one of those eye-opening game changer games for me. It was absolutely incredible.
Wait, which one was for the GameCube?
Ooh,
Here we go.
I think it was
I wanna
Tricky.
I think it
that
was
was
Tricky.
Tricky.
Okay.
Yeah, Tricky.
Make sure it's
Tricky
one.
was just next level.
Like that's where I got into the franchise.
Yeah. I mean, I played the first SSX really like a lot, but SSX Tricky was just like.
I just want to jump on a snowboard and go down the hill really, really fast.
Exactly.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And
It was
try
like-
not to
it was like you
That's
do a
all
couple
you
flips.
Yeah,
Do a
because like
couple
EA,
flips,
like EA Big, they was really heavy into like the back triggers, so like doing trick modes and shit. So
It was
like,
Tony Hawk's Underground, but on a snowboard, and it was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Just like web slinging in Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
just
it
let
was
me,
really great.
just
Yeah.
let my video
Yeah.
game be a video game. You don't have to try and transcend reality with
Right.
it.
And then
Red
they
Dead.
added so much more with SSX 3. Like they did the what was the one where you could do the first one you could do drifting with Need for Speed.
I want to say
Most
that
Wanted?
was.
Yeah, most wanted.
Most
Or
Wanted?
Underground.
Or was
It was
Underground?
like it
Yeah.
was like that, but like maybe what was it like 7 years before that, where you could do like professional snowboarding, customizing everything. I remember I had my custom board where I had like a cardboard piece, and that was my skateboard. I thought it was the coolest shit ever. But you know, doing on that, it was great. I like going on different mountains. Like, okay, you did all of these mountains, you can go back and break records, and yeah.
So it sounds like adding drifting in Need for Speed was a bad idea.
No.
No, it's
No,
just,
no,
it's just the way they did the
It
way
added
they did
depth to the gameplay. It was one
Yeah.
of those like this is how you knew the difference between someone who played this game versus somebody who was just trying to have a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it's like if someone was good at drifting in like Need for Speed, it was like, oh, all those hairpin turns that used to ruin your life are just now
Non-existent.
breezy and beautiful. But it's like it's a good time. Like adding drifting just increased the skill ceiling. So it's like if you were good at the game, you got to do more.
Yeah, it was the drift one. It was good. I enjoyed the drift Need for Speed. It was
Okay.
No.
Y'all just
ruined
talking about all these speed games. I'm over here looking at Kirby Air Ride on eBay.
Man, Nintendo, what are you doing?
Bring back.
Sakurai is on Smash. That's what happened.
There's people who want
So?
Kirby Air Ride.
Sakurai-
I don't mean to be that
Give-
guy.
give
but-
the Mario Kart team.
You
Is that a
you
thing?
don't want Kirby Air Ride? You didn't like Kirby Air
It's
Ride?
not
That or a
didn't
new
like
Sonic
it.
Riders.
It's the
I would take
same
either
as-
of those.
I was looking at
Riders?
Sonic Riders
What are we
literally the
saying?
other day. I was literally looking at
Hey.
the first Sonic Riders on GameCube.
Like I said, Crash Team Racing is happening.
Yep. 100%.
Like Kirby Air
I
Ride
will-
is like Pokeflows to me.
I will
like,
destroy
I'm fine
lives
if
for
it
Crash Team
happens,
Racing.
but
I don't know, man. Kirby Air Ride was that was a good
136.
game.
Okay, yeah, I'm on my last list. Most of my stuff has been covered. So I got my honorable mention, Pokemon. Talked in depth with Chris about that. Pokemon Gen 1 remake, did everything I could have wanted from the game.
And more.
Number 5, Spider-Man. It was a solid video game. Like, I really loved Infamous Second Son, and Spider-Man is just what happens if it's not the same team, but if you take that concept and give it significantly more time, love, energy, and money, and then you get Spider-Man out of that.
So you treat it right.
Right. Tetris Effect is my number 4. I just had to put it on the list because of like the fact that it was an
It affected you.
experience. Yeah, it really. I got another PSVR because of that game.
y'all make Tetris Effect sound like
That,
I know,
We're like
right?
Like,
we're
look,
not
look,
underselling it
no,
at
no,
all.
I'm telling
It's
you right now.
100%. Like it's 100%.
The way you make an
I
arcade
get it.
better, arcade game better, is to take the art style and literally use it to burn out your corneas. I'm not kidding.
I mean-
the effects are everywhere, and it's beautiful, and it's really good.
I will say that game is beautiful. I've never actually played it, but I watched both of you guys
Yeah.
play it. But I would not say like spending another $200 just to play it. I couldn't see myself
Well,
doing it.
Well,
My
it's like
old
buying a console to
PSVR
play
is
Smash,
still for
so-
sale.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean Jalen bought his Switch for Smash.
Is
Well, and Animal Crossing and Metroid, because
I mean Beat Saber.
Nintendo, you're
and
giving me that Metroid game this
It's
year.
coming.
Damn,
It's coming.
I need it.
But yeah, y'all make it sound like taking hallucinogens or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
like,
mean,
It's
It's
Yeah,
an
almost like
acid
an out of
trip.
body
It's-
experience.
yeah.
like
Yeah.
I
Tetris.
mean, it's just
on
one of those
AMT.
things where it's like it mixes the fact that it's in VR, which like gives you that in completely different atmosphere
Yeah.
than you would playing it on a TV.
Yeah.
The
Like,
fact
the
that
trailers,
you're playing
if
this
you
game with
watch it-
headphones on,
Yeah.
and
It's a
so like
complete.
the music in your
really
head.
is a completely new experience.
Playing it on a 2D screen, because like I beat the entire game. Playing it on a 2D screen, like even watching all the trailers, it makes it look good. But experiencing it in PSVR is something. PSVR has enough good games now that Tetris Effect is my number 1
You
PSVR
know what? It's like
game.
the difference between seeing Infinity War in theaters versus seeing Infinity War in IMAX. It's
I
that.
haven't seen it in IMAX.
Ooh.
It's like Infinity
Oh,
War.
wow. Really?
Yeah.
And look,
Oh,
IMAX,
yeah.
like it's one of those things where it's like
Oh,
So
IMAX.
Endgame IMAX.
Yes.
Always-
Heck, I wanna see
always-
Broly in
Yes.
IMAX.
I don't know.
Yes.
Once you
Infinity
got
War and
IMAX, you
IMAX
never
would have
go
been.
back.
It would have been too much.
It's one of those things where it's
No,
like IMAX
it
is a legitimate bump in quality because
Yeah.
it's IMAX. Playing Tetris Effect in VR is that bump in quality. It's
Yeah.
like shifting from a
Yeah.
normal screen to IMAX.
Right. You're in the game. Literally. The surround sound, your entire view is this game. You're engrossed in the experience, and it was the only game this year that I downloaded Tetris on my phone, and I'm out there playing Tetris to get better. So when I go home and play Tetris Effect, I can get past this next level that I'm on. Like, we gotta have maybe one Monday before we go to press start, you come over and just put the headset on and see what's up. Because that's just something that you have to see to believe, but once you see it, you will understand.
You will believe.
Like I keep comparing it to IMAX because that's just the best term for it. It's like moving from.
It's like watching standard definition video on through a RCA cable or AV cables going to 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah.
It's
like I'm not gonna say like I'm someone that's not not easily impressed, but like it's like you said, it's trying to hallucinate. It's like it's like from personal experience, it's like it's really like it's really is a brand new
And it's also one of those experiences that really shows you like, oh, like VR hasn't gotten to where we want VR to be, but it's like, oh, it's interesting. It's one of those this is one of those experiences. You sit down, and you're like, okay,
Where do you want VR to be?
You know, you know where Jalen wants it to be.
I mean, like,
Step on me simulator.
No, I want actual intimacy.
Ready Player One.
Yeah, I want actual superpowers. I want to get in VR and actually feel like I have actual superpowers.
Oh, that's only a matter of time, man.
I know.
Only a matter of time.
I know.
until I'm
Hell,
in
I'll
an
probably be
open
the
world
one to do it.
superhero
Spider-Man
VR
3.
game.
I might just say, screw it, I'll do it myself. I'll
You
take
can
the
play,
money.
Let me play a
You
Iron
play a
Man VR game.
Dragon Ball Z Connect.
Hey, I'll be
They gotta
fine
be a
sitting in my
fighting
room
game.
trying to charge.
Throw on virtual hands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yo, you just put on a VR headset, but you're really fighting?
There's drunken bar fights VR.
Yo.
Yeah, there's some like off
Or
the
So you
beat.
mean
you
not
go to
first person
Edgewood.
Red Dead?
Drink a little too much.
It's
I
so
haven't
immersive.
seen-
Wear
I
your
haven't
favorite
seen-
pair of shoes. Wear your
Hold on,
favorite
hold on.
pair of shoes.
Wait,
I haven't seen an Edgewood fight before. I've seen the best of Edgewood. I've seen the worst of Edgewood. I haven't seen an Edgewood fight
We
before.
haven't seen an Edgewood fight?
I don't want
But then again, I haven't been on Edgewood when there were shots fired. But I haven't seen a
Yeah,
fight.
that wasn't a fight. Niggas was shooting.
Bang.
So my number 3 is Monster Hunter World.
Hey, gang.
I've given Monster Hunter several
Great Sword
chances
World?
over the years, and Monster Hunter Freedom Unite didn't click. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate didn't click. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate didn't click. Monster Hunter Generations didn't click. And now Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, like, after playing Monster Hunter World didn't click. But Monster Hunter World, man, that was our job.
Yeah.
We clocked into Monster Hunter and
Like
was just
around
like,
11 and just get off around 3.
3 was if we weren't going hard.
No,
There were
3
times.
was if we just ended a hunt, it went real well, we got what we wanted, like, okay, I could call it a night there.
Right.
But if we were doing something stupid like trying to fight Behemoth, nah.
Yeah, we had
Fuck
4 or
me,
5 a.m. nights because of Monster Hunter. It was the first game. The fact that this game came out, and by the end of the first half of the year, all of us had over 100 hours.
Shit, that was the game we really started playing with Darren.
Yeah, that was Darren, Jawan, like that. We really grew the base of people that we play with, like through the podcast. We got like a lot of really good podcast
Shouts out to the
feedback.
boys.
Shouts out to everybody who played Monster Hunter World with us. And anything else for that matter, because I got some pretty cool Destiny people. The little bit of Forsaken I played. Up next, my number 2 slot is Smash. It really is. Smash Ultimate is doing everything I thought it would do. Like, we pretty much kind of knew what it was for a really long time. Like, okay, it is Smash Ultimate. That everyone is here. Like, I was excited from it from the initial, like, Splatoon teaser trailer that they did in that direct way back when. And I was like, okay, this is going to be great. But it's just something, every time I pick up my Switch, I'm going into the store to get more music tracks or more Mii costumes or more just... There's just so much content in that game. All the challenges, they're just like really like minuscule challenges. There's a lot of stuff to do. There are 3,000 spirits to get in that game. There are 70-something characters with a growing roster. For you have your classic modes, you have techniques, like the fact that every single character is unique. Even echoes play differently from the characters that they're echoes of.
Yeah.
It's just
Some of them.
so much content, and there's nowhere I look in that game. There's nothing that I go to do in that game and feel like I'm playing something crappy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of love and care and attention to every.
Meticulously crafted.
My player icon in the online lobbies is a Jirachi. Like, there's just so many deep cuts that are just handled so well that it's like, okay, I understand why y'all couldn't really have Jirachi in the game, but my little icon could be a Jirachi on my Smash tag.
I have a ho-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a ho-ho?
Ho-Oh.
Ho-Oh.
Oh.
It's a Pokemon.
Oh, okay. I
It's
was
a
like,
Pokemon.
hey, man, you getting down like that?
Damn, they got them like that.
Shit, I want to play Smash Bros. They got ho-hos in there? Where they at?
Wait, isn't that a hostess snack? Or am I tripping? Ain't those a hostess snack or am I tripping?
Ho-ho, we talking twins?
Ho-ho. Nah, that's that Merry Christmas.
Come on our chest.
Honor.
I'm still in the hunt for that Sonic art track, man. I'm still.
Which one?
The Sonic art track. Can
okay.
you feel the sunshine?
No, I
Does
think
it
that's the actual
brighten
name.
up your day?
No, it's called Can You Feel the Sunshine?
Yeah, that's the song I want.
Yeah.
I want that fucking song. It's in the game, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't unlocked it yet.
Because it's on the freaking Rainbow Road level.
I want that shit, man. You play through Sonic's arcade or his like classic mode when you fight Captain Falcon. Like I've played through his fucking arcade mode like 2 or 3 times just to hear
The
that
fact
fucking
that the
song.
arcade mode is actually deep cuts from
Oh,
the
it's
actual
ours.
one. It's
People-
actually like
Oh, the classic
Otacon,
mode?
like for Snake,
Yeah.
Otacon is Dr. Mario and Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
They do a lot of that
People
everywhere
sleep
in
on
the
classic
game.
mode.
There are a lot of little
So
like
much love.
yeah, so much love, so much like
it's like these
This-
people actually care about these characters.
The end
super
of classic
deep cut
mode.
character. The end of classic mode.
Near Automata.
Yeah. If you beat classic mode with anybody and you don't get Near Automata vibes from that, you didn't play Near Automata.
Or at minimum, Kingdom Hearts.
I should also mention I fucking beat classic mode with every single fucking character.
Holy
Every
shit.
single
You are a
character.
madman.
Every single character.
Yeah.
Madman 11.
But yeah, it's just like, yo, what's gonna happen next? Like Ryu's classic mode is.
I beat it with a couple of my mains. A couple
Yeah,
of them.
nah, everybody.
Right, yeah, I did it.
Motherfuckers I don't like. I'm like, all right, Jigglypuff, let's go. Let's get this over with.
But the fact that you felt compelled to do that kind of does show the
Yeah.
fact that game is
Yeah.
lit.
And he's still like the fact. Normally, with a fighting game, if you beat classic mode with everybody and you're not really online constantly, you're kind of done with that game.
Yeah.
The fact that he is not done.
Not at all.
Gotta
Not
throw
at
them
all.
hands.
He's still
brother.
got like personal goals. He's still got like challenges.
Sonic R. Can you feel the sunshine?
Can
Does
you
it
feel
brighten
the
up your day?
sunshine? Oh man,
I
I
need
need the song
to-
stuck in my head.
So I got the Smash 3DS and Wii U soundtrack and ripped that to my phone, and that has some really good tracks. But like the music in Ultimate, I would pay a significant amount of money to just get the. It'd be like a box set
Yeah.
of CDs.
Ooh.
And like you can
Or
literally
vinyl
make your own
item.
playlist and put it
Right,
in
you could-
MP3 player mode. Like it's crazy.
I haven't done that.
I just
There's
wanna
so many
do that
things I
all-
haven't done with this game. It's ridiculous.
Which is what makes it so dope, man.
I just want to do
There's
it on my
so
phone.
much. I mean, the fact that we've all sat here and said it has Smash on our list and all mentioned different things, that just
Right,
that's how
it
much is
appeals-
in this
I
game.
never thought I would be a Zelda main ever.
Star
Really?
Platinum.
But she uses a stand. I love
Yeah.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and she's just up here, Killer Queen, just hitting her poses. I'm like, yo, what the? She's doing the poses and all. I'm like, yo, Sakurai.
She is
you
literally JoJo's character.
are
and
that
it's
nigga.
amazing.
It's amazing.
All right, and my number one is God of War. The two.
Boy.
There are a couple things nobody else has mentioned about this game. I love the fact the touches that it has from the original series, from like the
fiery touch.
the weapon selection to the fact when he opens chests to the fact that his Leviathan axe is carried in an ohm on his back. Like there are just so many of those
Yeah, I do
little
like that.
touches.
That's
that
I
are
always looked
strong.
at that and I was like, yo, I see what you're doing
Yeah,
there.
it's tight.
I like that.
Yeah, and just the fact that it's not like a reboot, it's a continuation. The fact that playing all the previous games just makes this game even better.
And it makes the themes hit just a little bit
Yeah.
harder.
Right.
Yeah.
And then another thing, nobody mentioned the fact that the ending was literally like holy shit on a whole nother level. Like nobody's
Oh,
mentioned the ending.
the ending, but like not him going home and going to sleep, like the actual ending.
That is the best post-credit scene in video games in the last several years. But
I want the smoke.
even the ending itself, just the getting to the end and the revelations that come with beating the game and rolling the credits and the story that's told,
Yeah.
like it's really powerful.
Yeah. oh yeah, seeing that story and just like knowing who
Right.
he is,
Yeah,
it's like, oh my god.
that line where the truth is revealed, I got chills. Like
Yeah.
legitimately,
Yeah.
like
I will say,
goosebumps. Chills
And it made
down
me
my
think.
spine.
I was like that whole time I was thinking about Infinity War. Like I'm not gonna get into the reasons why, but
That movie just made me go, or that game made me go watch Thor Ragnarok again.
again.
yeah,
I
will
watched
say,
that movie
like,
once a
you
week.
get the other weapons and you're able to start like stance switching in that game,
yeah.
like that's when the combat really.
Oh yeah,
Like,
the
Oh,
combat.
that's when the combat like feels like
It's
actual
fluid.
God of War again.
I never actually changed it back to the classic style. I kept it on the shoulder buttons, which I know like, and
Yeah.
the shoulder buttons.
I was playing on
it
classic
felt
mode.
so good, like having that switch, like punch, shield,
Yeah,
axe, like.
don't do it in classic mode because it's not built to.
Well, actually, I did play it in classic mode, but it makes more sense if you start off with your the weapon you get halfway through the game. Like if you start your combos in that, everything flows better.
yeah,
It flows
I can
really.
see that.
It flows like Bloodborne.
because I feel like the triggers
With
work
the-
better with like
with the
throwing,
triggers.
like actually having.
That's the
to
thing about it.
throw
Like the
the
triggers
axe.
work better with the axe, but then when you
Because having to
when you
do
have it on
that with
classic mode
with like
blades,
square and triangle, it doesn't hit the same, and I noticed that. But I've played too much of it in classic mode. I would have to like reset my brain.
I'm gonna give that game another playthrough because I've tried to
should.
go back to finish it off for the platinum, and
That's what I'm
figuring
working
out
on now.
that game after you've beat it and put it down for several months. I don't know how to find a Valkyrie.
Dog, I came back to a Valkyrie. I was like, yeah, let me come back and touch on God of War before the podcast. I got stepped on so many fucking times.
You enjoyed it.
And you said please, ma'am, when she was done.
Please, man, would you dig your heels into my flesh? But I had to lower the difficulty because it was like, yo. But at the same time, like I'm like, damn, this is why I really love this game because like this shit just looks and feels good.
Man up.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put that difficulty back once I get back acclimated to, you know what I'm saying? Once you get your sack right. once I get the bag, you feel me?
All right, so the last thing we gotta do
Oh shit.
is the
I
top
forgot about this.
the top 3 for the podcast.
Okay.
My suggestion for the Cheesy Controller podcast is Monster Hunter World, then Smash, then God of War. That's just me personally. I feel like that's a really strong top 3. I feel like that really covers the gambit of the year.
I mean, yeah, like the only one I have a problem with is God of War, just because God of War didn't hit that way for me.
Yeah. If you replaced it with Smash, then
The only problem I have with is Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, I was
Monster
about to say,
Hunter
you didn't play enough Monster
didn't hit
Hunter
that
World.
way for me.
Okay, so do y'all want to maybe switch Spider-Man for God of War?
I do it.
Spider-Man for Monster.
I wouldn't. I platinum Spider-Man, and I wouldn't switch Spider-Man for Monster Hunter.
As long as Smash is in there, I'll look
Okay.
at it.
So, number 3, Monster Hunter World. Number
I can
2,
live with
Smash Brothers. 1, God of War. Cheesy Controller Podcast official ranking 2018.
I mean, I could live with God of War, but I would replace it with Spider-Man. That's just me.
Okay.
I feel like Spider-Man should be in that list.
I mean,
to be
you know
honest,
my
top,
list.
top 3 is pretty tough because it was just a really great.
Yeah, it
game.
was.
Yeah.
If you
tough.
look at our Venn
It's a hard
diagrams, it doesn't match up for a top 3.
Yeah.
Like I thought it would, but it.
Yeah,
No.
Mm-mm.
Wait, what doesn't match up for top 3?
Our
Venn
Venn
diagram.
diagram
Yeah.
of games of the year.
Right.
So let's pick one game right now.
That has to be on there for each of us, but it's 5 of us.
I know. Let's just pick one game. We can agree on one game.
1 overall.
What would be the game that like solidified 2018?
God of War. Like if somebody gunned to your head, like I have to play
That
one
major
2018 title.
But
Play it right here in front of me.
But to be honest, as a collective, I would say Smash.
Yeah.
As a collective.
As a collective,
Not just
collective.
each single person like, oh, I platinum this, I didn't platinum this, but as a collective,
I would
Smash.
say it has to be Smash because Smash is like the consistent.
Jalen, you
high
wanna go with
mark.
Smash? It wasn't on your list.
Smash was number 4.
Oh, it was. Oh shit.
I would.
No. Fighters was number 4, but Smash was my honorable mention because of the fact that Fighters came out earlier. But I'd put Smash.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I can
if
go with
from
Smash.
an outside perspective, it would be Smash, Spider-Man, God of War.
I can see that.
I mean,
I
those
fe-
games were
it hurts
consistently on
seeing
everyone.
Monster Hunter
Yeah,
World leave.
it's like
because
you guys
y'all-
also haven't hunted.
But
for
Right,
those?
I mean,
you
look,
have
it's
it-
because like for everybody, Spider-Man was always it was like the definitive game for
Not just
everybody.
that, but also another thing with it, like God of War is a game that I beat once, and I haven't really been motivated to pick it back up. Yet I played a metric fuck ton of Spider-Man, and I have like 200 something hours in Monster Hunter.
I think
Yeah.
coming up with a collective of like game of the year for everybody is hard because not everybody experiences games in the
it's
same way.
Yes,
All right,
but
fist
also
fight
seems
right
like
now.
seems like the answer is Smash.
Turn-based.
though.
Yeah.
Like, as
The
for,
only-
like,
Equip your items.
The only solution is violence.
Well, I mean,
Well,
I think you guys still have your personal.
Right, yeah. That,
Yeah,
we had.
drive and
If
there's
anybody
suggestions.
Just gotta
listens
do
to
a little
this episode,
compromise.
they have pros and cons for almost all of these games.
This is true.
And there are things like they want to play Tetris Effect now because of the discussion we had.
Yeah.
And like
I'm just saying, as a collective, I feel like the answer is Smash.
I can go with
because I
Smash.
feel
Okay,
like
Smash
that's
number
the,
one.
the definitive game that is.
Okay,
grabbed
give me
all
the
of
top
them.
3. So God of War, Spider-Man, Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd see
It
that.
hurts for Monster Hunter to be gone, but that list is
Still
so
on your list,
solid.
brother. Still on
Hey,
your
hey,
list.
hey.
Yeah.
I-
Like we've talked about it
okay.
for an hour.
We'll-
Like Monster Hunter World will not be forgotten.
We'll talk
Yeah.
when Iceborne comes out and we suck.
Right, yeah, we got
it.
an expansion 2019. Like it's gonna be up
Monster
there.
Hunter World was out for a whole year and no one ever sucked me into it. It's not gonna
Yeah,
happen.
because that's because
It's
you
just
refused to
never
play
happened.
video games,
Right.
and when you did, you wanted to play Rocket League.
Right, Monster Hunter.
Oh,
Like,
Rocket
it's one
League
of those-
cosplay on everything.
Yeah, that's
Put that
what it
out
is.
there.
Monster Hunter. You didn't have the time to commit to Monster Hunter, and one of the best aspects of it was the fact that it treated your time well, except for attack gems. It just didn't want to give us attack
And
gems.
Behemoth Extreme, because fuck Behemoth
Oh,
Extreme.
But
that
there
can,
were-
that can eat the fattest dick. Just like
It was not a game that we cakewalked through. We like actually got good. We learned weapons. We put in the time to that game, and it felt like every minute spent in Monster Hunter World, except just standing around in the Gathering Hub, was worth it.
Oh no, even standing around the Gathering Hub, because that's where you flex your new fits, man.
Like, yo, you trying to arm wrestle?
Yeah. It's like you flex your new fits, you arm wrestle, you drink, and you just emote your way into victory.
Sounds dope.
Okay, so Dead End Ambassadors, you guys got your...
I think it's definitely 3 for Smash. Granddad and I love Smash, and BZ might say that, man, fuck Smash, whatever. But BZ also likes Smash. When he plays it, he enjoyed himself. He recorded his video. He uploaded, hey, check this out, Anthony Fantano. He likes Smash. He no longer can deny it. I think number 2, and Ken, you can let me know if you disagree. I think number 2 would be God of War for us, based on, I don't know, how much we've played it, how much we've talked about it. Would you agree with that?
I feel they will be Spider-Man.
You feel like Spider-Man is number 2?
I'm trying to think about Granddad. And B had God of War as his number 1, didn't he?
I think
can't
so.
remember.
That's where I'm really like struggling between Spider-Man and God of War. For me personally,
Damn it, Sony, why you gotta release this much
No,
in 1
it's
year?
too much.
Come on.
Sony's just sitting back like, oh yeah, this is.
my
All the
personal
W's.
number 1 is Spider-Man, but I think 2 of you said God of War. So
Yeah,
I think we were evenly split on
Yeah.
Spider-Man. And
So
God
one
of
A
War.
and one B.
I think it's something like that, man.
Are they here?
But fuck, that's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. Like we fucking here.
We extended the invitation.
So
So-
God of War is number 2 for Daddy and Gaming, speaking it in the truth, and number 1 is Spider-Man.
Okay.
Speak your truth, brother.
What's your 3?
Number 3 is Smash.
Okay, so Smash, Spider-Man, God of War.
Yeah.
Okay.
So very similar.
It was you had it backwards.
No.
Smash, God of War, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Smash.
he said.
From the bottom to the
Yeah. My
top.
bad. Yeah. Smash, God of War, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, very similar. We on the same wavelengths. Again, BZ likes Smash enough for it.
He
to be
doesn't like
included on
Persona,
that
though.
list.
Look, it's okay
Yeah,
to be
like
wrong.
Yeah.
Red Dead didn't make it into the top 6.
It's not that he doesn't like Persona. It's that he does not like turn-based combat anymore.
How do you grow?
I don't know. You gotta grow into turn-based combat, not out of it. Like, I don't know.
It's
But
good.
yeah, that's a conversation for when
Yeah.
DZ's present and he can
Yeah,
tell
right,
you his
right.
bullshit directly.
Yeah, maybe you should swing by.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just pull up while y'all recording. I won't even say it. You just see me outside of the door, just like
Breathing on the
Persona,
glass.
wearing my Persona shirt, just like you know what time it is.
You might as well bring the bag with you.
I keep that thing on me.
You just need to steal BZ's heart, man.
you
Go into his palace.
just come in on the podcast like, yo, I got a confession, man. I love this song. Dog, this
I
shit's
played it
amazing.
all night. I'm on the 4th palace.
I actually platinumed it on my Smurf account.
I've been playing it all along. I just didn't want y'all to
This
know.
BZ 431. Y'all never knew about it.
All right, so I feel like that was the most successful Game of the Year discussion that we've had in Cheesy Controller Podcast 2-year history. It was
Same
a pleasure having
For us, because we haven't had one yet. So thanks for popping our
Nice, the
cherry.
bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now you guys understand the flow of it, see how to have a good discussion about a wide gamut of games and how to appeal to different people's tastes.
Heck, it actually was a wide gambit of games.
It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
no,
the
it
thing
was.
Like
I
2018
don't know
was
what the
deep.
hell was. I feel like yo, you were making up some shit. Grease, isn't that a movie?
Hey man, John Travolta was in this game. Not gonna lie.
I was like, what?
Nutty.
After the Stan Lee cameo in Spider-Man, anything's possible.
Bruh.
But remember, you can follow us all collectively on Twitter and Instagram at Cheesy Controller without the last E. Dead End Games, you can find them. Dead End Gaming, Dead
Yeah.
End Video Games.
Yep.
Y'all got a lot of different names.
Yeah, we do. It's annoying as fuck. I don't know what I'm gonna do about it.
Consolidate.
Yeah, because somebody got the name everywhere. So
True.
So yeah, I've been trying to reach out to them and see if they want to give it up.
Yeah. So if you want to catch us on Twitter, twitter.com/deadendvideogames, twitch.tv/deadendvideogames. We got a Discord link that is available on my Memugah11, MEANMUGGAH11. Please.
Don't forget the 11.
You know what?
With the
You know what to say.
Please.
If you don't put in the 11, he's not going to show up.
Yeah, that's
You'll
right.
find some other mean mugger,
I don't know
but
who that is.
he's not friendly.
I don't know no Memuggahs.
He's actually me.
Yeah. Yeah, what you done?
Instagram, /Dead in Video Games. Or not slash.
No, yeah,
whatever. You
it's,
just search the shit.
Yeah,
Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Instagram.com/deadendgames. And I think that'll be the easiest way to find all of our stuff because of the link tree.
Right, and that'll keep you updated
Yeah.
on how to listen to the podcast.
Yeah, direct links to everything.
Okay. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch at Anton6, 3 X's. Josh,
I know Jones everywhere.
Chris,
Chef and Chris.
Jalen,
Squid Bishop.
Madrid.
You can follow me at twitch.tv/sunnychifa and on Twitter it's SpeedwagonX.
And Ken.
KennithBinge, KennithBinge. That's Twitter.
All right. This has been a Know It's Good production. Until next time, keep it